Welcome back, everybody, to the Breachers VRML. I'm your host, Gibular Bob, and today we're here with Ragnarok, currently number 4 in the VRML EU standings. We've got Mark, we've got Casey, we've got Monkey Josh, and we have TJ Clark. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, fantastic, thanks.
Doing amazing, Bob.
Awesome.
Good.
Nice. Okay, so I think let's just get right into some of the questions here. Starting off, after 11 weeks of matches, you're finally here at the end. Congratulations for finishing. How does it feel to skip the Challenger Cup?
I'll go first. For us, we already knew we were gonna make it up to top 8 minimum, because 4 of us were in Monkey Forge previously, and we managed to get 6th place in season 1.
Right.
So we already had that knowledge that we would be around that level. A lot of us were very hopeful, and we're aiming for 1st, but as you can see, we're sitting in 4th. So we'll see where we can move on from there.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess that kind of plays into the next question. Where did you expect your team to finish? Did you go in with the idea that you would get in first, or?
You can go, Casey.
Okay. I personally said in the beginning of the season, I said we're going to place 3rd at least.
Right.
And we were for half of the season. And then the last 2 weeks kind of screwed us over. But I'm still confident. I'm saying top 3. I'm still confident.
Awesome. All right, so on the subject of matches and matchups, what was the most challenging week or matchup for your team? Because there were a couple of bumps in the road. I've casted a couple different Ragnarok games over the season, and a lot of them went well, but I definitely know that this season wasn't without its hiccups.
Yeah, I completely agree. For us, especially, it was IVI. That was our biggest struggle. They had this way of playing. It was extremely coordinated. Their strategy was on point. They would never falter. They would lose like 4 rounds, say, and then they would bring it back instantly. They would never give up. They were relentless. And it's just a team that we really struggle to play against. Personally, I mean, I find struggles with flanks on them. They always have a flank watch. It's just picking out these key weaknesses that we've been picking up through scrims and matches to hopefully take that win in the finals.
Yeah, and on the subject of the finals, how is your team preparing for the upcoming closed qualifiers?
Well, for what I've got planned for the team is just scrims. There's no secret formula to winning.
Right.
It's just constant repetition. You got to keep playing and playing and playing and playing and practicing as a team. It's the only way that you can get better. And if we end up losing in the end, then it just means we played worse in that moment, and we're just gonna keep practicing for the next season to hopefully win that.
Are there any specific teams that you think might give you trouble? Anybody you're specifically worried about as you head into the closed qualifiers?
I think personally what Mark's been saying with IVI, to be honest with you, we've come awfully close to beating Acer twice now, I believe.
Right. And
we've still yet to beat them, I think, in a scrim, but we've got very close. We've got a few 6-alls in there. But IVI, I'd say, is still the number 1 team we're looking at. I think the way it's worked out with us in 4th place, I think we won't be seeing them until the finals. So we're safe for the quarters and we're safe for the semis. So we just need to keep practicing and try and knock out the next 2 teams, really.
Awesome. Casey, how about you? Anybody on your mind?
I mean, he said everything I wanted to say. I personally, I think on the team, I'm saying it every time. We have a chance against pretty much every team, in my opinion. But IVI, I'm afraid of IVI. Straight up. I think out of all the scrims and matches we played, we won against them once. And yeah, I mean, I guess you just gotta pray at this point.
I'm actually going to go with Acer.
Ah, okay.
Because they play completely different to Ivy and different to every team. Now, some people might say, oh, it's because of play spacing. But if you took out play spacing, you'd be left with a really good team, like a team that's really coordinated. They're always moving. They're never sitting still. They're always on the move, ready to refrag their teammates, ready to swing. And it's just, you've got to be so focused, but you can't lose track of your surroundings as well.
But if you do win the prize this season, what would you do with it?
I mean, I'll be putting it towards subscriptions for like AI and machine learning resources, because I've got I'm very interested in that industry, and I've recently got an internship and a business, so I'm interested in all of that. So that's what I'll be spending my money on.
Awesome.
I think it's just going straight into savings, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Probably put it towards a Quest 3 or just save for a car.
Nice.
One,
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, of course, we do wish you luck in the upcoming close qualifiers. There's going to be, a lot of tough matches, but your team has certainly shown a lot of promise over the course of season 2. So I'm excited to see where you all end up. But for now, that is going to do it for us over here at the Breachers VRML. Big thank you to Ragnarok here for giving me the opportunity to interview. And again, we do wish you luck in the upcoming closed qualifiers. So, all right, that is going to do it for us. We'll catch you all in the next interview. Have a great night, everybody.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Bruce right on top, and there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy from hit to the EMP inside. Oh my god! No! It's an F5! 4, 3, 1.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Breachers VRML. I'm your host, Gibular Bob, and we're back here with another interview. This time, we've got Chiki Breachy. I've got with me today their captain, Black Cat VR. So, how you doing, Black Cat?
I'm good. Yeah, real good. You?
I'm good. Okay, so just a couple of questions here for you. First off, you're number 5 in the standings right now. Now, after 11 weeks of matchups, how does it feel to skip the Challenger Cup?
I mean, it's always nice. I don't think we've ever been as low as to be in the Challenger Cup. Like maybe in other VRML games, we probably have been in the past. But yeah, sure, it's not something we've had to experience yet, but I know the pain of having to play those extra games before.
Absolutely, yeah. Long day, and so nice
to be able
to skip it. But where did you expect to finish this season? Was 5th in the spot you had in mind, or were you aiming higher, lower?
Yeah, probably around there. Like we assumed top 7 at least. Right. Like we don't think there's 7 teams better than us, like without being too cocky. like we can beat any team on a good day. So yeah, like as long as we're in the top 7, we don't really care.
Yeah, absolutely. So was there a particular week or matchup that was extra challenging for your team, or anything like that?
The entire season, it's just pain. It's just making us play VR game after VR game. It's so much effort. No, yeah, there's a few teams that are obviously rougher, as I'm sure every other team's mentioned. Acer, Ivy, really good teams. Although we did nearly beat Acer, that's annoying. Yeah, like none in particular stand out. There's a few games that we maybe drew that we should have won, and some that we lost. I think we lost to the French teams, RFI or French Resistance. I forget what they're called now. I should probably pay more attention. But yeah, it's been a rough season generally.
Yeah. So now, how are you preparing for those upcoming close qualifiers? Doing anything in particular, or are you just kind of taking it easy?
I've been playing a lot of contractors.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I'm sure it'll translate somehow. Yeah, we should probably play some more breaches. We're just kind of winging it. At this stage, whether we have 5 people turn up at the weekend will be interesting to see. But yeah, it'll be fine. We got this. Easy.
All right. So, are there any teams in particular that you think might give you a little trouble?
Any of them could. Like I say, we have close games with all the top teams, or have had close games with all the top teams.
Right.
If we have our best lineup, we can beat any team on any map. On any given day. It's just how it goes on the day.
All right. And final question. You don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but if you do win a prize this season, for reference, $1,900 in cash from Triangle Factory and Pro2 VR. So if you do win that first place prize, what would you do with it?
I'd buy so many Happy Meals. Like
you would? Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like no, I don't know. It's yeah, whatever. We don't care. We just splurge it all on. I won't say what I spent on this. It's not broadcastable.
no more bathroom renovations, huh?
Yeah. It's all done.
Okay, well, in any case, we do thank Black Cat VR for giving us the opportunity to interview them. And of course, we do wish Chiki good luck in the upcoming closed qualifiers. But for now, that's going to do it for us over here at the Breachers VRML. I'm Gabular Bob. This has been Black Cat VR with Chiki. We'll catch you all in the next interview. Have a fantastic rest of your night, everybody.
Welcome, everybody. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's. I am joined here by the entirety of the Acer EU roster. We'll go down the line. You can each introduce yourselves, a little bit about yourselves, your role on the team, and that's all I need from you. Hickman, we'll start with you, and then go down the line.
All right, well, I'm Hickman, previously known as Dexter. Usually within the team, I'll play either slightly behind the entry frag or entry frag position.
Hey, I'm Vino. Basically, I do the exact same thing as Hickman, kinda. I'm more just like my role within the team is just kind of to like create a space for the team so they can all, push and do whatever they need to do, basically. And kill people.
Makimo?
Hey. I'm known as a team mascot, basically. So, I keep it cool. I lurk sometimes. That's all.
Excellent, thank you, Gubelinda.
Hello, I'm Gublin. I'm the captain of the team. I'm usually IGL for the games. I usually take EMP and foam, and I direct the pushes and let them kill all the bad guys, usually.
I'm Rise. I like drones, sometimes nades. I like shouting at people, and I'm a self-proclaimed clutch king.
Chris. I used to play Breaches with Dark 7 before he got banned, and I post on TikTok. That's all I do.
I'm the Stick, or the Minister of Cheese, and when I do get to play, I love finding the EMP, and that's...
Awesome. Well, thank you all for taking the time to chat with me this afternoon. It's been 11 weeks of regular season gameplay in the EU roster, and I'll start with you, Gublin. How does it feel be able to skip the Challenger Cup and be #1 in your region?
It's a big sigh of relief, honestly. It feels really good to have been #1 for the whole season, or the most of it at least. We started fairly late, so I'm surprised we managed to get all of our matches in. But overall, all in all, it's been a really good season, and I feels amazing. We've managed to make it to top 1 and stay there.
Has anyone on the team had to play in the Challenger Cup before?
Yes.
So Chris, I'll ask you this question too. How does it feel to not have to play in it this year?
I'll let Makamo handle this one.
Okay.
Well. Back in the TGFC days, eh? We used to be at the bottom, but now, so in TGFC days when we won the Challenger Cup last time, we got defeated by Velo, this guy's team, and probably those two as well.
Just me.
They planted the EMP and I stuck it like right under the noses.
Okay, great.
He stuck it and embarrassed him.
All right, I'll go with Rise. Where did you expect to finish this season? Started season 2, did you think you'd be at the top?
Well, we started, I wouldn't say late into the season, but we started a few weeks after the start of the season began. And it was a bit of a scrappy start. We were struggling to get players. We were trying to form a main roster to have for matches. So, but I expected to make finals. Everyone here is very talented, a very good player at the game. And I think also getting first is a huge achievement. So, definitely exceeded my expectations. But I know these guys also thought they were going to aim high as well. So,
Of course.
Hickman, I'll direct this one to you. Out of all of the weeks, was there one that kind of stood out to you as the most challenging? Was there a team that a match that you had that was the hardest for you this season?
Not really. They all felt quite equally easy, if I'm going to be honest. But I feel like one of our more, I would say, happy wins was that a BCL game? I think it was an IVI game, but that was a while ago. Yeah, that was one of our more exciting wins, I suppose. But no, I don't think we've struggled with anyone individually quite yet.
Gublin, as a team captain, specific that you're doing to prepare for finals, that are coming up next weekend.
The most we can really do right now is obviously grind scrims, play against the people we're going to be playing against next week. We're going through a lot of VOD reviews, old games of other teams. We're having a look at what they're doing. We're trying to maybe counter them. All in all, it's just been more like analyzing other teams and scrimming and just honestly creating a bunch of new strats. And we're going to bring a lot to the table for these playoffs coming up.
Is there any communication or collaboration between you and other Acer teams? Because that Acer brand is one that really stands out at the top and across a lot of different VRML games and obviously regions.
We enjoy. We're in close relation with the NA Breaches roster. We do internal scrims every now and again. We play against each other. We share back and forth our strats and our plays and tips. We give one another. We give one another tips. We like to play a lot with each other. We VC a lot. We're in really good relation with each other. But joining Ace has been amazing. I've loved it, and I think the best thing we've done besides bringing the team together in the first place.
Yeah, pretty much.
Agreed.
Are there any specific teams, Chris, that stand out to you in the postseason that are coming up? Is there anyone that you got your eye on that you're maybe worried about?
Yeah. I actually have 2 teams. I have number 1, War Dogs, because they're just scary. Look at what they did in Challenger Cup.
Yeah.
And then my second team would be probably Ragnarok, because they're just Ragnarok, scary people.
With tourists, yeah.
May I add on to that as well? We're watching this weekend Challenger Cup. We have a close eye on it because there are a couple good teams in there that didn't make, the top 7. What's the word I'm looking for? Catchment, I guess. They didn't get straight into the quarters. But we kind of have to take, because we're playing the winner of the Challenger Cup in our first game, we have to take every match as seriously as possible. We can't lose focus because anything can happen. It's the finals. Every team is good. They have their own play style. So we don't want a repeat of last season where we saw, I think, .com won the season 1 and they were completely unexpected winners. So that could very well happen again. So we have to take this very seriously.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you. taking the time to chat with me here today. And the best of luck to you. Any final shout-outs from anyone on the team? Anything you want to say, Makimo? Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Oh, God, here we go.
I just want to shout out to my.
Yeah, I'm sorry about Makimo. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm sorry about Makimo.
Shout out Dark7, shout out TGFC, shout out Alex on War Dogs, shout out Gradma on Ragnarok, shout out Toppy, Goat Boy, not Anomalous, Typical Light,
Stop.
Eager, shout out Mad, Echo NA player, Highlighter, Pepsi, Yep, there we go. That's it. Yep.
Alright. Now, shout out to Mr. Tabs, my fist bump guy.
True, Mr. Tabs.
Pepsi, those two. Yeah. Who else? Who's the other one?
Oh, yo.
We're all here, aren't we? Arco, best cast ever.
Yeah.
And Highlighter.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
Right, I think we'll call it there.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Blues right on top, and there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy. Can get to the EMP inside. Oh my God! No! It's about 5, 4, 3. Welcome everybody to the Breachers VRML Season 2 Top 8 Single Elimination Bracket for EU. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, and I'm joined by my caster Gibular Bob. Bob, how are we doing today?
Oh, I'm doing amazing, and I'm ready for what's going to be another great day of matches. I mean, with how well the Challenger Cups went last week and how exciting those matches were, I think we're in for another really fun time today.
There is a lot to talk about as we are just in the pre-show this afternoon. We're about 20 minutes until the start of our first game, which you have beneath us here, Acer, EU, and Nexus. We just went through the interviews of the 3 teams, excluding Nexus, of course, because they qualified just last weekend. And so let's break it all down. This has been 11 weeks of regular season gameplay where these teams have been competing for a chance to be the top 8 in their regular season bracket. We take the 7 top teams at the end of the season and auto-qualify them into this weekend's tournament. We also then, like we did last weekend, run a Challenger Cup where we have a 8th place team qualify through, only one singular team out of, I think, what was 10 teams yesterday,
yeah, like 10.
Or last weekend in EU. Only one qualified through to play here this weekend as that 8th place team. And at the end of this weekend, we will have 4 teams that will advance on to play next weekend in the semifinals and grand finals of Season 2, where they will compete for $1,900 in cash for first place and something like $900 or $800 in cash for second. Get the right number here. $850. It was in between. $850 in cash for second place on the line this afternoon for these EU squads. And so now, let's talk about today, Bob. We have Acer EU versus Nexus and Ragnarok versus Chiki Breachy. Let's start with the second, with the latter first, the Ragnarok versus Chiki Breachy match. What are your thoughts on that series? Because that is, oh gosh, what ranks are Ragnarok and Chiki off the top of my head?
So Ragnarok is number 4, Chiki Breachy number 5. So they're right there in the standings, right? And Ragnarok, they had, I would say, a pretty tough season. They got a lot of, tough matchups against Acer EU, IV. They had Chiki Breachy in there a couple of times, .com. So they've kind of become battle hardened, and it's made them a lot more consistent. I think they've really improved on their teamwork, their gun skill, their strategies, and we're really seeing that come to fruition in some of their later games. Now, they do still have some things to work on, right? Because they did just lose to IV and then they lost to Acer EU, but those were fairly close. Against Acer EU was 10-14. Acer EU took that game, so pretty close to Acer EU. For being the number 1 seed in the EU, that's quite the feat. And then against IV, 2013, so only 7 rounds off there, but again, they put some pressure onto IV there. So yeah, I think Ragnarok has quite a bit of potential here in this postseason bracket, but Chiki Breachy is also another very strong team. They were strong in Season 1. They came back strong here in Season 2, and they have had a couple of fairly tough matchups as well. They tied up against Ragnarok. They did lose to Nexus, but they beat .com, which, if you remember, they were the Season 1 EU champions. So, they put in a 12-16 game against Acer EU. So, Chiki Breachy as well, has done a lot of damage. In their most recent loss was 16-18 against Immortality. So they're putting in numbers against some of these top teams. And I think, when I was interviewing Black Cat for that interview, they were saying if they had their ideal starting lineup, they could beat any team. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see that starting team here for Chiki Breachy, and potentially they could go very far in this tournament as well.
And then our other matchup today, the one we'll be starting with here in just about 12-13 minutes, Acer EU versus Nexus. Nexus, what a long road they've already gone through. Last weekend was that Challenger Cup I talked about earlier. That was 5 maps, about 4.5 hours on the EU side of intense gameplay, where they end up being one of 2 teams to qualify in to then play on Sunday. So Saturday and Sunday packed with games for both of these teams. And I'm obviously, now they go up against Acer EU, and Bob, when we talk about both of these teams, kind of Acer stands at the top of a mountain almost across VRML as a whole.
Yeah, I know that was something that came up in your interview with them, that they're at the top of their league in X8, in Vale, I believe, here in Breachers as well. So
and
their organization, and on NA.
Cross region too.
Yeah, so cross region, NA, EU, they are just the power team. In pretty much any league they touch, they're the number 1 spots, and they have again a bunch of really talented players. I know they were saying they've got players that play for multiple different leagues, and the skill transfers over. So you're looking at a team full of some of the best VR shooter players in general, and it really shows. I know they've got a podcast where they talk about their teams in other VR games, and how they've got the biggest and most successful clan. But yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that we've seen during this season, it's that Acer is very, very good at what they do, but it's also that they're not infallible. They've had a couple of very close calls against some teams, and a couple of ties.
Close calls. No losses though. No losses though. I mean, especially when you look at the EU side too, 7-0 on their record so far. This season. In Season 2, and I guess this is a team that's coming into Season 2, but one thing that stood out to me was that Acer goes for the best players in the region and then brings them onto their roster, and that's what they've done here with this EU roster on the Acer side. They've taken some of the best players in the EU region, obviously the best, brought them together in a coordinated space, and they're sharing strats with the other NA team. They're working together collaboratively. They're just scrimming their other Acer squad, and so if you can imagine, if we ever get to a World Finals, Acer NA versus Acer EU in the Grand Finals, competing for a prize pool, it's maybe not too far off into the future, but it is something that we can't do right now. But at the very least, we get to see them play in both regions today, actually. NA will be coming up later today, but to just refresh your memory on how the cadence of things is going to go, today we have 2 matches, 2 best-of-3s, where one team from each best-of-3 will advance on to play next weekend. We also then have NA later today at 2 p.m. PST roughly 5-6 hours from now, and that will include also another 2 best-of-3s where 2 teams will qualify. Tomorrow, we do it all over again. Another 2 best-of-3s, another 2 teams qualify, and at the end of the weekend, we have 4 teams advancing on to next weekend. The matches today are Acer EU versus Nexus first. That'll be coming up in 10 minutes' time. So me and Bob got to get ready for that matchup. And then Ragnarok and Chiki immediately after. So do keep your eyes peeled for multiple matches today here from the EU region. And Bob, before we go, I got to get your predictions. Acer EU versus Nexus and Ragnarok versus Chiki. Who do you think's coming out for both of those sets?
Well, I gotta go with Acer EU. I like to bet safe when it comes to this, and I'm gonna go with Acer EU because I've casted quite a few of their games. They play super well, super coordinated, and I'm gonna go with them. No offense to Nexus at all. I think they're a good team, but Acer EU is at the top of their game. Although, what an upset that would be if they lost to Nexus round 1. And then for Ragnarok versus Chiki, I gotta show some support for Ragnarok, another team I've casted many, many times over the course of this season. One of my favorite plays this season of all time was that 4K that Casey got on Skyscraper. We turned that into the very first VRML spotlight. And so, yeah, I think that I gotta go with Ragnarok for that matchup. So I'm excited. Where are you going with this?
Yeah, I'm not getting off the hook, am I? I'll go Acer EU. I think kind of the mainstay pick here. Undefeated, so pretty easy to go with there. And then Ragnarok versus Chiki. I'll take the Chiki pick and go with the Breaky. And see how that goes for me in our second series of the afternoon. But we are going to take a break, and when we come back in about 8 minutes' time, it'll be Acer EU versus Nexus, map 1 in a best-of-3. So don't go anywhere. Our Season 2 top 8 single elimination bracket for EU is coming up.
Hey there, I'm Vermal. Breacher's competitive update has brought many great changes to our beloved game. Beyond adding rank, Triangle Factory has expanded headshot damage to the neck, as well as some map changes that are sure to balance and mix up the metas. Some changes deny previously overpowered peaks, including this window peak into Garage on Hideout. This white tarp in Garage is no longer penetrable. On Skyscraper, the one-way angle from Broadcast has been removed, as well as the radio wallbang through shutters. On Ship, the bomb site has been pushed back so a previous plant spot is no longer possible, like in Eternity versus Acer in the NA semifinals. Can't wait to see you in game!
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, jobs that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground and the cars is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Rulers right on top lane. And there's a double kill that comes in from Dozy from hit to the EMP inside. Oh my God! No! That's 5, 4, 3. Still tucked in. Doesn't get flashed. There's the connect with a double kill. Widow Tiger.
Hey there, I'm Vermal. Breacher's competitive update has brought many great changes to our beloved game. Beyond adding rank, Triangle Factory has expanded headshot damage to the neck, as well as some map changes that are sure to balance and mix up the metas.
Ain't accept and ignore, just kick.
Still tucked in. Doesn't get flashed. There's the connect with a double kill. Widow Tiger with slide. Nessie gonna clean up things with final frag, and just like that, F3 are getting chipped apart by Heyne, and their headshot spot is exposed, and down they go. Can Heyne find the quadra kill with the Taurus in hand? Nessie with a good rotation. Able to surprise Heyne here. Trying to bait out a missed shot, and they do not. Heyne, what the heck? A quadra kill.
My name is Heyne, and I play for Fusion VRML. I come from Echo. I love Echo VR, and I played that game since it came out in VRML. Going from Quest 1 to Quest 2 was jarring, and same thing for going to Quest 3. Echo was a very fun workout, and going to here, it's just, I can sit here for hours. The Taurus is my, I don't want to say my brand, but it's my thing. I've been using it since day one. I love that gun. If you use Hollow on Taurus, you're weird. It's kind of weird. Everyone should use Red Dot. I laugh and giggle a lot. I'm so happy no one else hears comms, because I am a horrible teammate. Every moment's chaos on Fusion. I was just listening for footsteps. Do you know how Mike Tyson used to fight? He would just stare them down, look at their heads. I either hit the headshot with the Taurus or I die instantly. That's just how the Taurus goes. Because the Taurus demands so much confidence. But if you're not confident, that's the biggest thing by far.
And it went against my hand. Better. One. Last guy. There. Yeah.
He's outside.
I'm excited for the lane. That's gonna be fun. No matter what happens, I'm going there for sure. I'm just gonna walk around. Most people recognize me, and I'm gonna recognize almost everyone. I'm gonna have a good time no matter what happens, and that's what I'm going there for. It's gonna be a cool, very cool experience. I'm gonna hang out with Bob for a ton of it. I love Bob. That guy's awesome. He's gonna be there with his mother, and I'm gonna say hi to both of them. Because I love you, Bob.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Breachers VRML Season 2 Top 8 Single Elimination Bracket for EU. My name is Nightfire with 2 E's, my co-caster Gibular Bob. It's Acer, EU, and Nexus to kick us off, and, well, it's the Dark Horse versus the top team this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say let's get right into the matchup data and take a look at how everything looks here. Nexus, of course, 4-2, had a bit of a rough patch in the middle of their season, but they've brought it back. They won that Challenger Cup, so they are still in this game. Their best map is going to be Skyscraper. 22 rounds played. They've won 64% of those. And then on Acer EU, as Nightfire mentioned earlier, 7-0, undefeated in their season. Their best map, Arctic, 40 rounds played. They've won 70% of those rounds, which is probably one of the best percentages we've seen. I mean, if you look here, 69% on Factory, 59% on Hideout, 58% on Skyscraper. All of their maps that they've played on are above 50% win rate. In their or 50% of their rounds won. So
yeah,
they're tough. Now, these two teams haven't played against each other yet, so we don't have any data to go off of there. But yeah, I mean, I'm certainly thinking. We're looking at Acer U starting on offense right now while we wait for a couple more members of Nexus to join. Where is the first map? Has it been picked? Oh my goodness, it's going to be Arctic. So we're seeing an Acer EU map. They've won 70% of the rounds that they've played on, and they're starting on offense. So it may be a bit of a brutal start for Nexus. Now, I've seen some teams do prefer defense on Arctic. But I know Acer is a very, very strong offense, so we'll see. We'll see how they can make this work. But it may be tough for Nexus today.
I gotta get on my social media account, Bob, and tweet about the upcoming match this morning so that everybody knows. And if you don't know, you should go follow Breachers VRML on Twitter. We have social media accounts. We got Instagram. We got TikTok accounts. You can get all of the clips, the highlights, everything you need fresh from Breachers VRML on our social media. So do go check that out if you have an opportunity. Obviously, also subscribe here to this channel if you haven't already. We've seen a bunch of new people coming through over the course of last weekend and this weekend and the fall. It's going to be a lot of new folks coming in when it's tournament time. So if you are new, hit that thumbs up button as well and subscribe. We appreciate you stopping in. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. And Bob, I think we can push over that 2K mark before the end of the season. I think it's possible. So make the push for it, in the community.
Oh yeah, we should do something special for our 2K subs. I was gonna do like a water bottle reveal on stream, but we kind of did that last weekend for the Challenger Cup. So that's out of the bag. So now I gotta hurry up and find something else to do. I know Hertage says he might have, he might eat like a really spicy gummy bear. I think that's what he said at one point. But that's not something that I want to do. So, but a big thank you to all of the new support that we've seen. I mean, look, we're in season 2 and we're already at 2,000, almost 2,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. That's just tremendous growth. Really love the community support that we've been seeing here. It's fantastic.
I mean, we're seeing growth in the league too, the community continuing to expand, more people continuing to get into Breachers. And I mean, when you have such a great community like this, it makes it a lot of fun to do stuff like we do, where we're doing interviews, getting to know the players a little bit more. If you missed any of the interviews, you can check them all out. They're in the videos section on this YouTube channel, and we interviewed every top 7 team playing on both NA and EU. EU interviews are white titled, NA interviews are orange titled. Just as like a quick little fun fact if you didn't catch that. But yeah, go in, jump in, check out some of those other interviews, and get to know some of these teams, because they're all, I mean, they're pretty funny. They've all got a little bit of a eccentric side to them, and a lot of focus too when you do look at the top squads like Acer. And Formula 3 and IV, who we've always been pronouncing as IVI. We'll go over that more tomorrow when they play, but that's IV apparently, which we just found out this week. And so, after 11 weeks, Bob, it only took 11 weeks of regular season gameplay to correct us on it, but we'll make sure we get it right this time. And there's a lot to look forward to, I guess, to that point. Next, tomorrow, really, we've got more games, 2 more best of 3s coming up. Later, after this, we have another best of 3. I think it's going to be stellar, ranks 4 and ranks 5. Chiki Breachy versus Ragnarok, and that's one to keep an eye out for as well. It's packed with action, and there's a lot to look forward to say the least. We've got weekends and weekends to supply you with of Breacher's gameplay. We don't have minutes and minutes to supply you with of time to buy, though, because we are still waiting for 2 more Nexus players to join. And so, at some point, Bob, they're getting into some dangerous territory of being close to that start time where they have to begin. I think you have to have 4 players. Maybe you can start with 3, but like, what do we do? The your chance to qualify in to a $1,900 cash prize pool for first place, and maybe they're a little nervous about going up against Acer this afternoon.
Yeah, it could be. Now they can start with 3 players. Do you really want to do that? When you're going up against Acer, I'm not sure. But hey, we've seen plenty of teams that like to cut it to like the last second, and get their teammates in very, very late. So we'll see. Maybe Nexus will be able to get their last 2 connect here pretty soon. But yeah, it should be a very fun matchup here on Arctic, and I'm excited. I think we're gonna see. Again, to your point, we're gonna see a lot of great matchups. It's not just this one. We've got another. We've got Ragnarok versus Chiki Breachy right after this. So, we got one intense matchup. We have another one right after this, and then later today, if you're still around, we do have the NA close qualifiers in the start of those, and we have a bunch of tremendous matchups there as well. So interviews, all the content that we have in between. It's gonna be a very fun day if you're a Breachers fan or a VRML fan.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's all possible because of our sponsors that support the VRML. And obviously, the biggest one for Breachers is Triangle Factory, coming in and supporting the VRML with cash into that prize pool, which is the largest cash prize pool we've had yet, and supporting us by flying the top 2 North American teams out to play live for their grand finals at VRML Con. It's a tremendous sponsorship that they're contributing into for the VRML, and we really do appreciate their support at the end of the day. It's no small ask. And on top of this, Bob, when the community asked for a Season 2 finalist skin recolor, they answered. And we are going to get that recolor skin coming in for Season 2, which is awesome. Beyond my expectations at the end of the day. They continue to deliver, and we're really happy to be working and collaborating and partnered with Triangle Factory to make VRML Season 1 and now Season 2 happen as smooth as they have been. So big shout out to them. We're also sponsored by HyperX. You're hearing my voice on a HyperX Pro cast right now. They sponsor our prize pool for North America and are also contributing into VRML Con by giving away hardware at the convention. A big sponsor there. We appreciate their support. And last but not least, ProTube VR coming in with a stellar cash contribution into that prize pool, and also obviously with fantastic stocks that help stabilize your aim in any of your favorite VR shooters. Can't recommend the ProTube stocks enough if you want to have better stability in your aiming. It really helps you learn the patterns of these guns too and the spreads that they do have. So highly recommend you check that out if you have an opportunity. You can use code ILOVEVRML at checkout to get a 10% discount, I believe. You can also use code HXVRML23 at checkout to get a 15% discount on any purchase in North America from HyperX. So we do appreciate those discount codes. And I can't go without mentioning Helga, the esports bot manager, a stellar bot that helps schedule your matches and scrims within the VRML. They're offering a free bot right now if you go to and set up an account on their Discord or on their website, and you enter in code VRML2024 OKF. That'll enter you in to their free version exclusively for VRML users, and you can kind of get an idea of how it helps with all of your scheduling. They have a premium version, which offers all sorts of stat tracking tools and different, more deeper elements into sort of understanding your team and what maps they play well on and all of that different stuff. But I can't recommend Helga enough, and they're contributing into that prize pool as well, so we really do appreciate them. We are still waiting now on 3 players to come in on to Nexus's side, as they are still MIA. And so we may have to cut to a brief break here soon. Certainly would be interesting for Acer to win by forfeit here, which I don't anticipate to happen, but quite frankly, Bob, is on the table if these Nexus players can't start jumping in to this lobby soon. So we'll wait around and see where they're at. I'm even getting reports here that one of the 3 that's in lobby is sick. Whether that's caused by the nerves of going up against Acer, or they've just been unfortunately sick. I'm not sure. We'll have to find out where the rest of that Nexus squad is soon enough. For now, though, we are going to go to a brief break while we wait for Nexus to get into this lobby. I don't know what happens rules-wise here, so we'll have to see. But I think normally after 15 minutes, you have to start your series after the scheduled start time. So we are going to wait a few more minutes in intermission, and I'm seeing a few more people jumping in from Nexus here, so maybe we'll be starting soon. But for now, we're gonna go to a brief break. When we come back, it'll be map 1 of Acer EU versus Nexus. Don't go anywhere.
Hey there, I'm Vermal. Breacher's competitive update has brought many great changes to our beloved game. Beyond adding rank, Triangle Factory has expanded headshot damage to the neck, as well as some map changes that are sure to balance and mix up the metas. Some changes deny previously overpowered peaks, including this window peak into Garage on Hideout. This white tarp in Garage is no longer penetrable. On Skyscraper, the one-way angle from Broadcast has been removed, as well as the radio wallbang through shutters. On Ship, the bomb site has been pushed back so a previous plant spot is no longer possible, like in Eternity versus Acer in the NA semifinals. Can't wait to see you in game!
Ain't accepting, ignore, just kicking down all the doors. Guarantee you, boy, fast forward, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the grind on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
Again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no! Big Ruler's right on top placement. And there's a double kill that comes in from Cozy. Hit to the EMP inside. Oh my God! No! 5, 4, 3. Tucked in, doesn't get flashed. There's the canal with a double kill. Minnow Tiger with slide. Nessie gonna clean up things with final frag, and just like that, F3 are getting chipped apart by Heyne, and their headshots. Bot is exposed, and down they go. Did Heyne find the quadra kill with the Taurus in hand? Good rotation. Able to surprise Heyne here. Trying to bait out a missed shot, and they do not. Heyne, what the heck? A quadra kill.
My name is Heyne, and I play for Fusion VRML. I come from Echo. I love Echo VR, and I played that game since it came out in VRML. Going from Quest 1 to Quest 2 was jarring, and same thing for going to Quest 3. Echo was a very fun workout, and going to here, it's just, I can sit here for hours. The Taurus is my, I don't want to say my brand, but it's my thing. I've been using it since day one. I love that gun. If you use Hollow on Taurus, you're weird. That's kind of weird. Everyone should use Red Dot. I laugh and giggle a lot. I'm so happy no one else hears comms, because I am a horrible teammate. Every moment of chaos on Fusion. I was just listening for footsteps. Do you know how Mike Tyson used to fight? He would just stare him down, look at their heads. I either hit the headshot with the Taurus or I die instantly. That's just how the Taurus goes. Because the Taurus demands so much confidence. But if you're not confident, that's the biggest thing by far.
And it went through my hand. Better. One. Last guy. There. No.
He's outside.
I'm excited for the land. That's gonna be fun. No matter what happens, I'm going there for sure. I'm just gonna walk around. Most people recognize me.
Welcome back. We have a doozy for you. A forfeit for map 1 has been entered in for Nexus, and we're into map 2 as we have Nexus on defense and Acer EU pushing into a 4v5.
And you're joining us here on Hideout as Gooblin finds Alex Silence, and we're off. And it's already a 5 versus 3. They're a whole player down on Nexus. They have to use that bot. There's a frag tossed into the backup. It's a double kill from Mr. Tabs, who I call Mr. Frags in this case. Now 2 minutes left on the clock, and it's just down to Beware Silence here in round 1.
Rough start for Nexus here this afternoon as a Acer squad comes barreling in, and Beware finds one but won't find more than that as a 1-0 opener here on map 2 starts Acer strong. A reminder, map 1 was forfeit, and that was because they didn't have more than 3 players available. They were able to start map 2 after 15 minutes with 4. And so they didn't have to forfeit map 2 as well. But, well, it's one way to go up against Acer, I suppose, Bob. I don't think it's going to be the strongest, though.
Yeah, and with such a brutal offense, I mean, we're looking at the top of the EU competitive ladder, which has been deemed recently NA 2.0, because they're starting to play, and especially with Acer EU, you're starting to see habits of the Acer NA team in their play here. They're very, very fast on offense. They're very aggressive. They swing a lot, and they play very, very close together. So we're gonna see what will be a pretty difficult first half for Nexus. Now, if they can get, at least a round here, they may potentially be able to get a leg up on Acer EU once they move to their offensive half. But it's going to be tough, especially because they're running a bot and you're going up against the #1 team. But there goes Alex Silence taking out Mr. Tabs with an S-tier frag. 2 minutes 40 on the clock as Alex Silence drops another. Is Rise going to feed a third kill? Rise feeds that third kill. It doesn't quite happen, though, as Hickman rotating out. Rise did manage to recover a Vezin, but, I mean, not an ideal start for Acer EU here.
No kidding. Nexus, if they can fight long enough at the end of the day for their 5th to connect in, and they have an opportunity to do something on map 2, it would be a tremendous and wild series to come back from, where you had to forfeit map 1 then come back from map 2. But certainly on the cards here, as they do open up with 2 kills, and quick freeze frag turns things into an even 3-3 for Acer as the wall opens up to B-side. Gooblin finds one, pushing in. Alkin goes down to a nade, and Gooblin barrels forward for the final kill as 3 Acers survive, and a 2-0 lead pushes them up and closer to advancing on to next weekend.
Oh my goodness, the control from Acer there. They lost 2 players very early into that round, but I mean, it didn't matter. There were only 3 of them, but they managed to clutch up and win that 1 versus 4. I mean, I was just watching from Hickman's perspective, and just they opened up the wall, they 2-prong it, and then we've got strong swings in, completely established control over the site. And yeah, I mean, that's the offense that you're seeing here from the number 1 team. I mean, Nexus had a good start, but they're going to need to keep up these picks. They're going to have to slow down Acer EU, find as many picks early into the round as they can, so they can stall for some time here, because, you know, if you can weaken Acer EU at the start of the round, you may potentially be able to find the other picks later on. But you've got to weaken their team as much as you can, and, you know, as early into the round as you can.
Well, I hope Ragnarok and Chiki are ready this early in the morning, because they're going to be playing shortly after if Acer have anything to say about it. It could be another fast series as Jacob finds Timo. They put the bot down for the start of that round, and into round 3 we go. Acer looking to pile up this 3-0 lead, and Hickman scoops up Balkan looking for more as they swing into the bottom floor, but will they find it? No, not quite. And A-site control is very much here, but where is the rest of this offense is the question.
Well, we're just down to Alex Silence, who's now down in family room. Gublin and Hickman goes down. Gublin might catch a refrag here, not quite, but they're going on the hunt as Alex Silence looks to escape back into kitchen. The EMP has been planted. Now the question is Acer EU going to go and look for this final kill, or are they going to sit on the EMP, just play it safe? But Alex Silence going for the salvage round, and this is a quick 3. This is going to be a quick 3-0. Or Acer EU. But I mean, again, we're just seeing Acer pouring into the site, not giving Nexus the opportunity to even breathe here. And look at the control that they have over this this EMP right now. They've got somebody on the window, somebody's over by the stairs, Vina's in the site, and Mr. Tabs downstairs looking for Alex Silence in case they try a flank. But I mean, just the control that they managed to establish in such a short period of time is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it really is. And again, a solid 3-0 lead here. Heading faster and faster to the 6-0, because now economy's starting to really go into their favor. This will be, I think, the first full buy. I guess they didn't full buy last round, Bob. I wasn't quite paying attention to their economy management there. And so they're able to buy in full here round 4. It does make me wonder, are they going to have enough round 5 if they have the 5-round loss bonus? I don't know. But regardless, it is Acer comfortably in the lead. They've got all the kit and utility they need. And I'm wondering what, again, Nexus is going to do. Are they going to try something unorthodox to throw this squad off? Are they going to stack Garage, try and go with a counter swing? Acer probably going to be ready for it with some drone work and some prep. But it does seem like they're here and maybe ready to position themselves for a quick push out into this garage space.
What do we have in there right now? Alkin. I was thinking maybe Alkin might try and go bowling here with that frag grenade. One has been tossed out. Finds Bruno, as we actually had a disconnect over on Acer EU. Interesting. Now you see 3 strong in garage from Nexus, but they do have bot Timo in there, so a frag tossed over to garage. It was unprimed though, so we'll see if they can. Oh my goodness, no way! Timo found the kill under Goobler with the RL, and that is that strong side of bots that you rarely see, where they come out with perfect accuracy from out of nowhere. But now, once again, we're in a 3 versus 5 with Acer U down on players. Will they be able to recover this offensive push? They were able to last time, but it was a 3 versus 4 in that case. Now it's a 3 versus 5. So we'll see if they can find.
Alkin. Oh my goodness, he almost catches Tabs. This is Timo, the bot, this Nexus defense holding down this B site fantastically, and Acer not able to break through in this garage side as Rise drops down off of that second floor and has to be wary. If they swing this bottom corner, they could be running right into Alex Silence. Mr. Tabs could be vulnerable if Alex decides to peek out, and Rise actually goes down. Tabs goes down. Huge picks from Alkin and Alex, and it leaves Acer alone. in a 5v4 series with a bot kill on the board. I don't know what just happened there on their offensive push, but it did not go well, Bob.
Yeah, and this is going to be just a salvage from Hickman, who may play for some picks here, trying to destroy a little bit of the eco from Nexus. But wow, I mean, I think it began with that entry frag where they found, you know, a pick off of that. Vino was disconnected, and you know, that's a free pick for them. Then Gublin goes down to Teemo, the MVP of the round here, and it really just hurt their overall push. And again, this is really the, you know, the counter strategy that you need against Acer. If you can find those early picks and keep, you know, people on your team alive, you don't give them trades, then I mean, you can do significant damage, slow them down, and like we're seeing right now, potentially find a round over them. I don't know if Hickman's going to go for the ace or not, but that would be, you know, with 30 seconds on the clock, that would certainly be one of the craziest breaches moments of all time. But they know exactly where Hickman is. I don't see this working if Hickman tries it, but I think they're going to go for it.
That's a good nade.
Jakub with one frag, but does get refragged by Alkin to make this a 3-1 game, with Nexus putting their first points on the board.
It's actually kind of smart, because you think about it, they really are reading their economy correctly of their opponent, right? Acer has all the money in the world. They can buy all the way back in this round. That's fine. They were up 3-0. They've got the economy. So take the risk and do damage to the likes of Nexus, because they only have 4 players technically. And look at Jakub. He's having to rely on his team to buy him utility and buy him attachments on his rifle, because he only has 100 in the pocket right now. Alex is well off, so is Beware, so is Alkin at the end of the day. But it really is just 3, because Teemo isn't going to give you money. They're not going to give you, you know, attachments or grenades on the bot side. Maybe that'll be the next update, right? You can talk to the AI and say, hey, give me something. And it'll be, okay, here you go, Nightfire, and it'll give you your grenades that you asked it for. But, you know, we're only, maybe 2 weeks away from that technology being possible as we continue to see that awesome stuff grow. But that's beside the point. As we do get ready to dive in here, I guess it's not beside the point. There is a bot. There is an AI in the game right now, but it's not that good of an AI. It has to have a kill, but let's not dwell on it. Let's get back into it as Acer push in here for round number 5. Do the math.
Yeah, I mean, we could potentially see Teemo joining Nexus for Season 3 as one of their roster members. Oh, no, that's not happening at all. As Teemo goes down, Alex Silence goes down. Alkin managing to catch a refrag on the Gublin, but here comes the push and a family room balcony as Mr. Tabs on the window. Vino, Hickman moving in. Rise may try, and here comes a swing from Alkin. And I mean, we're just seeing them give Acer EU's ones over here on Nexus, which is not something you want to do because there's usually 1 or 2 people stacking on Acer, you know, 2 or more. So we're going to see them shift their push over here to Site A, and this could potentially be bad for Nexus. There goes the wall. There's a frag toss right into connector. It's going to find Jake. Best tier frag from Rise with 2 minutes on the clock, and it's now just down to Beware Silence, who's got a 1v4 against Acer. They find Mr. Tabs. They find Hickman. Can they find another onto Rise? Rise sitting up in the corners. Vino does manage to get that EMP planted. Beware Silence not watching, and swings up to make it a 4-1 game with Acer EU staying comfortably in the lead.
Bob, we got to talk about the defensive setup on that round there because, well, it might seem familiar to you if you've tuned in to a Mastering the Meta video recently where we talk about that push on that site. Double static emitters placed on the front side there, on the top and on the bottom. That was what they showed us in that Mastering the Meta video, was to double static emitter there, and it completely slowed down Acer. When they did go in to push for that EMP, it allowed for that double kill to come through even, because they were really stalled out trying to get rid of those emitters before they could push up and get the EMP down. So really good utility use at the end of the day from Nexus to slow down what is, to your point, a very fast and aggressive Acer team. And ultimately, a nice defensive hold that almost goes their way. This Nexus team, with a bot in tow, is doing really well fighting back against Acer. And to my surprise, quite frankly, because I really felt Acer was going to at least take a 6-0 at the start here, but it could very well be 4-2 if Nexus have anything to say about it going into this last round of the half.
It's just such a shame because they're starting off, a whole player down. Teemo did manage to find a pick, but it's just not putting in the performance that, a regular fifth player would put in. Alex Silence does go for that early frag. And looking to rotate over into Laundry. They may find Mr. Tabs. They will find Mr. Tabs. And now they have provided a little extra defense here for that Jim Hatch. That might be an important part to winning this round for Nexus. But we'll see. There goes a breach into Garage. That's that Garage hatch into Storage. Alkin making their way into Garage, catches a pick onto Gooblin. We're seeing a very spread formation from Acer EU. The EMP is down in Garage. I don't know, has Alkin noticed it yet? I think maybe Alkin did. Hickman drops Teemo, but they're at the deficit here on Acer EU.
Certainly are. Down again as Beware peeks out. Hickman, fortunately, there. Vino able to find the refrag. Big damage done. And another push out from Alex. There's a nade that comes barreling towards Hickman as they duck down in and survive a brief moment longer. And Alex, oh, what a great read from Vino as they quickly vault up and find the headshots. And Acer is fighting for every round here. They've come focused. I don't know if you've noticed, Bob, but they've even been moving around rifles to avoid them getting picked up by their opponent. I'm not doing it now, obviously, in this final round because it doesn't matter, but every round I've seen them grabbing their down teammates' rifles and making sure that they don't get scooped up. They can't be used by Nexus. They're not giving them an inch in these rounds here. As Alton's going to swing out and look for more. They find the kill onto Rise as Rise puts out a great flash that was a little too late. And now it's the duo. Hickman and Vino alone with a minute 14 left on the clock.
And here comes the drop into Storage. We did see Nexus potentially have more control over this round, but they fed a couple of ones to Acer, which I'm kind of confused, as to the play there. But we do see Alkin in the back of Jim. They may catch a headshot here onto Hickman. They will catch a kill onto Hickman. They find a kill. And as you predicted, it is a 4-2 game heading into the defensive half.
Crazy.
That's leaving opportunity open for Nexus to potentially find, success here in the second half, turn it around. They've given themselves some padding. But again, they are that player down, and offensive bots are pretty bad in comparison to defensive bots. They usually rush right into the site.
Yeah, they have been tweaked. I have seen offensive bots now actually going with the team. It's very interesting. Their AI has been adjusted recently. To your point, though, it looks like Teemo's getting set up for just a swing through the window right into Rise's line of sight. So we'll have to see just how effectively they do really coordinate with the offense. And yeah, they still very much are much less effective on offense than on defense, where they will just sit on site and occasionally find a headshot. It's not often that it does happen, but hey, anything's possible, Bob. It's why we're tuning in here into the postseason. And quite frankly, I didn't anticipate a bot to get a kill on the Acer in this series, but it's happened. As we do now get ready to go in and dive into our second half of this first map. 4-2 for Acer as they go on defense and Nexus attack.
I mean, it's postseason. Even the bots are looking to make an impact here as Teemo makes their way through the death hallway. They may find a bit of damage onto Rise, but they do go down. As a frag is towards the end of the death hallway, that's not going to catch any damage. Gooblin looking for the swing out, and we do see a couple of cyclones in use. There goes a frag towards the back of the death hallways. Vino finds a kill on Alex Silence. The double swing as Vino finds a second kill, and it's now just down to Beware, Silence, and Jacob, the last two members of Nexus standing. Jacob goes down to Gooblin. It's now just Beware, Silence, and 4-2 here. This would be a bad start to the second half for Nexus. Can Beware, Silence find a pick? No, Mr. Tabs finds it instead as we see that 5-2 game with Acer EU one round away from earning match point here on map 2.
Yep, they are looking good, as we expected this afternoon. And to the point, Chiki, Breachy, and Ragnarok better start preparing for their series, because it is just around the corner here, as we'll be diving into that matchup shortly after this one wraps. So do keep your eyes peeled on this channel. Don't go anywhere once the series ends, or if it ends, I suppose. We can't count Nexus out just yet. They've still got some hope left. They could still potentially win this map, or if they lose here, tie. But it's the opportunities are dwindling, Bob, to say the least. As again, Nexus are going to be able to not excuse me, Acer are going to be able to buy in here as we do see 2 rifles come up here. Teemo's picking up an Omen, so maybe the SMG will be a key element of this offense push in from Nexus. But yeah, this is what we expected from Acer so far, and if anything, I'm surprised they've even lost 2 rounds today.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see if they can. Yeah, they're going to take out Teemo there to recover that Omen, give themselves a little bit, of material advantage here against Acer EU. They're going to have to do something because, of course, they're going up against 2 of those Vism players. Gublin right inside of storage. Actually, look how close they are to each other, but Gublin manages to find Alex Silence. Beautiful opening pick from Acer EU, and it's already a 3 versus 5 because that bot did go down. Alkin does find Gublin with that Omen, though. However, Gublin did not have a Vezin, so they didn't get too much off of that kill, but we do see Beware Silence pick up quite a bit of damage outside in front of Foyer. And, I mean, it's a 2 versus 4 already, Nightfire. I'm getting worried for Nexus.
Yep. It is not an ideal opener, to say the least. They still do have the Omen in hand, though, so anything's possible with how they're going to swing into a garage here. But in terms of pushing site, what is your best play? I feel like it's a rotation to A. If this B and garage are heavily stacked. Obviously, they don't know that. We're seeing through walls, and they cannot. So they don't necessarily know what we're seeing. But with a bit of drone work, they'll definitely get a perspective into that garage and get some eyes on. You can see as soon as that drone came out, even Vino rotated off the garage, not to give away any positioning. Mr. Tabs still holding here, and they've actually got the Vezin front and center. Goodness. Vino peeks out. Mr. Tabs cleans things up, and the 2 Vezins do their job to pinch down and clamp down on Nexus, pushing it to series point, where we will be done with this series if Acer win this next round.
It just really, again, I think it's really disappointing for Nexus to come all this way. I mean, they won the Challenger Cup, right? You know, last weekend they went 5 games. Day 1, they won a best of 3 against War Dogs. Day 2, and then to kind of fizzle out here has been, very, very sad for this team. And we'll see. Maybe they can start turning it around, but. I mean, they do have their rifles up this time, so they could potentially pull out a win against Acer here, but they're going to have to win 4 rounds to tie this up and then potentially try and bring it back on a 3rd map. But, yeah, I mean, it's looking rough for Nexus right now.
Sure is, as we get ready to dive in to this next round, the last round, before we get a winner and a potential winner here, and Acer will move on to the semifinals next weekend. We'll have a chance to compete for that first place spot of $1,900 in cash. And if there's anything to compete for, it's that. Acer definitely coming in focus today, and you know, they're bringing their Acer game, which is going to be obviously hard for Nexus to go up against when they are into a 4v5. And so, you know, not an easy task set before Nexus this afternoon, especially being down a map early because of a need to forfeit. Just an overall rough series of events today, and you know, I feel for the Nexus team because it's hard to manage your a team in general and their schedule, and it's no easy task here. As a double kill nade barrels in from Vino, and only 2 left now for Nexus.
And that is just another S-tier frag thrown in this matchup. Both sides have had some very, very nice frag kills this game. But here we are, 6-2, and it's a 4 versus 2 with just Alex Silence and Jacob standing between them and getting kicked out of these playoffs in round 1 here. Gublin and Jacob actually on the opposite side of the wall from each other. We'll see if that leads to anything. Meanwhile, Alex Silence over here in Death Hallway, and there's a minute and a half on the clock. They don't have possession of the EMP. Where is it? Okay, it's in the corner in Death Hallway. So Alex Silence could recover that, but I mean, you know, at this point, what do you do if you're Nexus? Where do you go here? I mean, Site A is pretty locked down. Site B is pretty locked down. You're, 2 players down. Gublin may find another pick here. Not quite. So as Alex Silence, oh my goodness. It's so close. Oh, and there it is as Gooblin finds Alex Silence. And it's now just down to Jakub with a minute left on the clock. And Gooblin catches a bit of damage from Jakub, but this is it. The final moment for Nexus. Can they recover here? Just 50 seconds left on the clock. Jakub does not have the EMP. They're going to have to 1v4 this, and I think Jakub is also the one who is sick, but they managed to find a kill on Gooblin anyway. Now 40 seconds on the clock. It's a 1 versus 3 with just 35 seconds now. Can Jakub rotate around and get that EMP down or secure this 1 versus 3? Half a minute. Will it happen? As we see Jakub making their way through Death Hallway, Hickman looking to potentially swing out, but oh my goodness, Jakub is going to have to make a move here. There's a frag! Sear frag from Hickman closes out this series. It's a 14-2 for Acer EU. They're moving on to the semifinals next weekend.
No surprise at the end of the day, but a bit faster than we anticipated this afternoon, Bob, as we are done with 2 maps in 40 minutes time and a clean 7-2 victory there to wrap things up for Acer EU. A fast start to the EU bracket, but it does mean that we are going to quickly move on to our next series, which is Ragnarok versus Chiki Briki. Before we do, any final thoughts on today's matchup? I guess congratulations to Acer EU. Looking forward to seeing them next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they just played so well. Offense, defense. I mean, that again is what you expect to see from the #1 team in their region. And I just feel for Nexus to put in all of that effort, make it so far, and then to, enter into a 4 versus 5 against the #1 team in the playoffs. I mean, it's rough. And, we'll see. Maybe they can potentially come back next season if they do stick around for season 3. But, hey, I mean, that's the way this works. It's the postseason. Teams have got to lose. It's unfortunate for Nexus, but hey, Acer EU, they're a tough team either way. I don't think, there are a whole lot of other teams that can put in a lot of really good performance against them. So, congratulations to Acer EU. They're moving on.
Absolutely. I think Acer EU might be making some more teams sad, too, if they have anything to say about it leading into the next few weekends. That'll be it for us here on Map 1, though. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, it'll be Series 2, Chiki Briki versus Ragnarok. So don't go anywhere. More EU top 8 single elimination action coming up.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Breachers VRML. I'm your host, Gibular Bob, and today we're here with Ragnarok, currently #4 in the VRML EU standings. We've got Mark, we've got Casey, we've got Monkey Josh, and we have TJ Clark. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, fantastic, thanks.
Doing amazing, Bob.
Awesome.
Good.
Nice. Okay, so I think let's just get right into some of the questions here. Starting off, after 11 weeks of matches, you're finally here at the end. Congratulations for finishing. How does it feel to skip the Challenger Cup?
I'll go first. For us, we already knew we were gonna make it up to top 8 minimum, because 4 of us were in Monkey Forge previously, and we managed to get 6th place in season 1.
Right.
So we already had that knowledge that we would be around that level. A lot of us were very hopeful, and we're aiming for 1st, but as you can see, we're sitting in 4th. So we'll see where we can move on from there.
Yeah, awesome. So I guess that kind of plays into the next question. Where did you expect your team to finish? Did you go in with the idea that you would get in first, or?
You can go, Casey.
I personally said in the beginning of the season, I said we're going to place 3rd at least.
Right.
And we were for half of the season. and the last 2 weeks kind of screwed us over. But I'm still confident. I'm saying top 3. I'm still confident.
Awesome. All right, so on the subject of matches and matchups, what was the most challenging week or matchup for your team? Because there were a couple of bumps in the road. I've casted a couple different Ragnarok games over the season, and a lot of them went well, but I definitely know that this season wasn't without its hiccups.
Yeah, I completely agree. For us, especially, it was IVI. That was our biggest struggle. They had this way of playing. It was extremely coordinated. Their strategy was on point. They would never falter. They would lose like 4 rounds, say, and then they would bring it back instantly. They would never give up. They were relentless, and it's just a team that we really struggle to play against. Personally, I mean, I find struggles with flanks on them. They always have a flank watch. It's just picking out these key weaknesses that we've been picking up through scrims and matches. Hopefully take that win in the finals.
Yeah, and on the subject of the finals, how is your team preparing for the upcoming closed qualifiers?
Well, for what I've got planned for the team is just scrims. There's no secret formula to winning.
Right.
It's just constant repetition. You got to keep playing and playing and playing and playing and practicing as a team. It's the only way that you can get better. And if we end up losing in the end, then it just means we played worse in that moment, and we're just gonna keep practicing for the next season to hopefully win that.
Are there any specific teams that you think might give you trouble? Anybody you're specifically worried about as you head into the close qualifiers?
I think personally what Mark's been saying with IVI, to be honest with you, we've come awfully close to beating Acer twice now, I believe.
Right.
And we've still yet to beat them, I think, in a scrim. But we've got very close. We've got a few 6-alls in there. But IVI, I'd say, is still the number 1 team we're looking at. I think the way it's worked out with us in 4th place, I think we won't be seeing them until the finals. So we're safe for the quarters and we're safe for the semis. So we just need to keep practicing and try and knock out the next 2 teams, really.
Awesome. Casey, how about you? Anybody on your mind?
I mean, he said everything I wanted to say. I personally, I think on the team, I'm saying it every time. We have a chance against pretty much every team, in my opinion. But IVI, I'm afraid of IVI. Straight off. I think out of all the scrims and matches we played, we won against them once. And yeah, I mean, I guess you just gotta pray at this point.
I'm actually going to go with Acer.
Okay.
Because they play completely different to Ivy and different to every team. Now, some people might say, oh, it's because of play spacing. But if you took out play spacing, you'd be left with a really good team, like a team that's really coordinated. They're always moving. They're never sitting still. They're always on the move, ready to refrag their teammates, ready to swing. And it's just, you've got to be so focused, but you can't lose track of your surroundings as well.
But if you do win the prize this season, what would you do with it?
I mean, I'll be putting it towards subscriptions for like AI and machine learning resources, because I'm very interested in that industry, and I've recently got an internship and a business, so I'm interested in all of that. So that's what I'll be spending my money on.
Awesome.
I think it's just going straight into savings, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Probably put it towards a Quest 3 or just save for a car.
Nice.
One,
yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. All right. Well, of course, we do wish you luck in the upcoming close qualifiers. There's going to be, a lot of tough matches, but your team has certainly shown a lot of promise over the course of season 2. So I'm excited to see where you all end up. But for now, that is going to do it for us over here at the Breachers VRML. Big thank you to Ragnarok here for giving me the opportunity to interview. And again, we do wish you luck in the upcoming closed qualifiers. So All right, that is going to do it for us. We'll catch you all in the next interview. Have a great night, everybody.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3.
Oh no! Big Blue is right on top placement.
And there's a double kill that comes in from Dozy from hit to the EMP inside. Oh my god! No!
welcome back, everybody. We are here and preparing for us to dive into Ragnarok versus Chiki Breachy, our second series of the afternoon. Ranks 4 versus Rank 5 in the EU region. And we've got full rosters on both ends, ready to duke it out for our first map here on Hideout. Thank you all for waiting patiently during that break and for us to get into the action. But Bob, I cannot be more ready to see how these two teams are going to duel it out in a chance for that bid to first or second place. I mean, the prize pool on the line. It's everything that you want out of the postseason. Ranks 4 and 5, the heart of your regular season. We're going to get a great representation of what the EU looks like here this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And two very, very solid teams. I think they're, 4 and 5, I think they're very similar in terms of skill level. So I have a feeling this is going to go, 2-3 maps, and it's going to get down to the wire on all 3 occasions because, just the way that these teams play is fantastic. But in any case, we do see an entry over into Wine Cellar from Ragnarok. They've got all 5 of their members pushing towards the A site as we see maybe Jado might catch a pick here along with there's a frag toss into Arcade. Doesn't find anybody, however. A Scottish Ripper making use of that Taurus, going for a double, but it doesn't happen. Quickly shutting that down, and it's now down to a 4 versus 4 here in round 1.
Casey's gonna swing out looking for the pick. Finds another. Fending off this offense, really being a threat on the flank and disrupting their push in. TJ Clark and Mark scoop up a pair of kills that put them into the 3-2 advantage as Nate's utility come barreling into this offense. Freezer tries to swing, and TJ finds a huge kill through the smoke that prevents them from denying the EMP plant, and it all comes down to O.O, who finds another kill. That's 3 for them. They're looking for the ace at this point if they can win this round.
Yeah, it's been a menace out there in the hallway, and so now they're going to move into Arcade. TJ Clark may get a pick here. Finds that instead, though. Could we see an ace for Chiki Breachy to start things off? It's now just down to Blam Blam Fam, and the EMP has been planted, so the pressure is now on to defuse that EMP. They're going to bait it out. That's going to force Blam Blam Fam to make a move here, and now they're going to they're feeling the pressure. Is there enough time to defuse, though? Blam Blam Fam play this time perfectly. They ace from Can they defuse? No, they can't. Oh, man, what a blow to the gut there. But hey, I mean, if you're in that situation, there's no way you're feeling bad after that. You had an ace to start off. They recovered a heal, so I think they'll be fine on Chiki Breachy here.
Where is the team pat on the back for OO with the ace? Everyone should be celebrating around them, knifing OO in the head in celebration like I've seen other teams do when they get aces. But no, none of that coming through here. And I think that was actually a Veil celebration that I'm thinking of, where they all pulled out their knives and they were knifing their ace winner in the head a bunch. There's all sorts of different celebrations for your ace winner that you could have put on there, but a humble loss, I suppose, for Chiki Breachy. And what a way to win a round, I guess, for Ragnarok as they go up 1-0. Yeah. What a way for us to start this series. I don't think it's ever been a more even round to start than one team winning on kills and one team getting the EMP plant for our opening set here. Good way to start the series.
I think it was a bit of misplay there from Ragnarok. Now, they did get that EMP planted in the end, but, if it's down to that 1v3 and you have intel on where they are, get in there and double swing or triple swing, that last person. Because if you have the numbers advantage, there's not a whole lot that they can do. But in any case, they got the defuse in anyway, so it doesn't matter that much for Ragnarok. But we do see an immediate pick onto Freezer as Ragnarok making their move over towards the laundry half of Site B. Blam Blam Fam dropping 2, does get refragged by OO once again, causing problems with that Spectral. Scottish Ripper, however, finds that kill as it's now just down. hold on, the round is over. I didn't even realize that. I was going to call out the next kill, but no, nobody on Chiki Breach was alive.
Yeah, they both got the same kill, the final kill at the same time there on that round to put up Ragnarok 2-0. A very fast offensive round there and a very solid way of capitalizing off of their round win. Buying into those Vesins, playing in fast, playing aggressively. Ragnarok definitely coming in with a quick pace in these first 2 rounds this afternoon. And very curious to see how Chiki are going to fend off what I'm anticipating to be a full stack push coming in here from Ragnarok. It is the full buy, though, coming in from Chiki. How are they going to play this? It looks like they may send a couple of roamers here. On Hideout, you don't see a lot of roaming at the end of the day.
Yeah, certainly not. It's usually just one person does the roaming while everybody else sticks pretty close to the sites. But they do have OO here in a pretty crucial rotation over by Waterfall Big Stairs. So that's not the worst. Now, they do have BMO upstairs as well guarding that hatch. So they do have a pretty spread out formation here. So I think if Ragnarok works as a team and they swing angles with multiple people, they may quickly collapse this Chiki Breachy defense, and that's what they're going to go and try and do. As Blame fam looking to get that EMP planted, there's not anybody on the site right now. Silvertooth had to push in. Looking to catch Blame and does, but it's too late. The EMP's already been planted. However, can Ragnarok survive the onslaught from Chiki Breachy? It's now just down to a 2 versus 3, but Casey was on the flank all along and finds a double kill of their own, and it's now just down to as Casey looks for the kill. Casey finds it, a triple kill to wrap up this round for Ragnarok and make it that 3-0 game. That got a little sketchy there for Ragnarok when they were trying to get back outside of the building. Not to interrupt you, Nightfire. Okay. Okay.
Don't hear me either. I was muted there. Oh, apologies. A fantastic push there, defense there. Good thing we caught that. Sorry, I muted myself for a cup. Fantastic push there that works well on the defense for multiple reasons. The push out of the window, in particular, was a key element in stopping that offensive round from really spiraling out of control. It's why it almost went Chiki Breachy's way on the retake. And they had great coordination out through the broken wall, out through the door on the bottom floor. They almost overwhelmed the offense, who had the EMP plant down. And ultimately, I felt with a 5v3, they were really stacked for a solid round. But Chiki almost pulled that back. Ragnarok, though, playing good, and again, a great push from them, too. A great offensive play, good smoke usage, very fast in comparison to some of their other sort of maneuvers they've made into sites. And you're now seeing Chiki Breachy react in a bit of an interesting way where they are set up a little bit more closer to objective here. I suppose they are very low on their economy on the eco. And is going to find one pick on the mark. That's good. That's a net benefit right now on their eco right.
Yeah, I believe Ragnarok also just merged with another EU team as TJ Clark finds BMO. So again, we're seeing a much faster playstyle coming out from Ragnarok. Silvertooth does find the kill on the Blam fan, but Casey secures the refrag, secures the EMP plant, and it's now just down to a 2v2. But look at this, TJ Clark is on 1 health. So, I mean, if they cough, it would probably kill them. We'll see if TJ Clark can manage to find that pick as Casey outside of the laundry hallway right now. That EMP ticking down every second. And this is gonna be frustrating for Chiki Breachy because it's again coming down to this moment where they've got to hurry up and make that call and defuse that EMP, and there's the double kill from Casey. Oh my goodness, and it's a 4-0 game with Casey absolutely fragging out right now. 7-1 on the kills. Beautiful job from Ragnarok. They make it a 4-0.
Let's take a quick gander at the KDs here, as we do have to utilize the in-game scoreboard versus the one you may be used to from our end. We do see 8-3 on the side of Chiki, and they have not won a round. That's pretty impressive. That's a lot of kills coming in. I mean, most of these rounds are coming down to 1v2s, 1v1s. And so it makes sense. And on the Ragnarok side, a bit of a spread, but Casey leading with 7-1 on the KDs there. Also pretty impressive on this set as they go 4-0 on this first half, barreling towards a perfect 6-0 set, but it is going to be at least around here where Chiki Breachy are going to be able to full buy in. Because they ecoed last round, they're able to get everything they need here from rifles to utility. And so we'll see what they're able to put up on contest here. 2 rounds on defense might be enough for them to get their foot in the door for when we swap sides and they go on to the attack.
And yeah, I mean, they're just not missing a beat here so far on Ragnarok, especially with roams and lurks. I mean, Casey on the flank twice in a row, catching those kills that they absolutely need to keep the round in their favor. Will they be able to do it here on top floor? We'll find out soon enough, as it does look like it will be that push onto Site A bathroom. And we'll see if Chiki Breachy can potentially find a round over Ragnarok here for the first time in this series. There's an incendiary toss in. They're looking to close off that bomb. Can they get somebody in there to plant the EMP? Mark finding an Acer frag onto 0-0 as Scottish Ripper bringing that EMP ever closer to the site. A lot of damage onto BMO and Jado. And here comes Scottish Ripper with that EMP looking to get it planted. Do they have a frag grenade? No, they toss an instant. It doesn't quite get Ripper though, who does manage to flee back out into family room balcony. Several kills as Silvertooth, who was on the flank, does go down to Scottish Ripper. And there's Casey again with the double kill on the flank.
Crazy flank there that comes to fruition right when it needs to, because things were starting to go wrong for Ragnarok. The other flank coming in from Silvertooth there, almost devastating to Ragnarok, but a great reaction. And you can tell the comms are very lively from Ragnarok this afternoon. You know, as soon as they went down from that flank, it was an instant snap from their teammates to spin around and get that refrag before things went catastrophic, before they really lost control of that side. If they had lost both players from that flank coming in from Silvertooth, then the entirety of Chiki Breachy has the option of pausing and shifting their focus to the flank that's coming in, that then devastates the rest of the defense there. So it's all very sequential, but it ends up going in Ragnarok's favor because of what I would call out there as good communication between the teams. So hats off to Ragnarok again for coming in and playing so strong on their offensive half. But Chiki are fighting every bit of the way, tooth and nail. And they'll now go into their last round of the half with only really a limited buy. 3 Vezins, an Oral, and a Knut. Wow,
TJ Clark picks up a bit of damage from Vreezer, who is up on the family room balcony right now. I think if Vreezer goes for it again, they may get the coordination there as BMO dropping everybody with a triple kill. Or quad. Can it be an ace? It's just down to Casey. Where is Casey? They're dropping right now onto Silvertooth. They catch a bit of damage onto Vreezer as well. There's a frag tossed in. And again, it is round 6, so there's not any point in saving here. But Casey, oh my goodness, they have their work cut out for them. They're going to have to ace on Chiki Breachy. And let's just talk about the devastation that BMO just unleashed upon Ragnarok there. What, what a start to a round.
Yeah, they had 0 kills, 0-5 on the set in this first half, and now they're 4-5. That's one way to clean up your KD when you're in tournament mode, and maybe 1 point is enough. It's not guaranteed yet, but you got to get BMO a little bit more mobile. You got to make sure they go out and get this last kill. You need to funnel it in to BMO for the ace so that they can at least have that ace in their pocket during tournament play. It's not something that a lot of folks can say they've pulled off, as Casey is looking to do just that, a 1v5 in front of them.
Oh, this is going to be rough if Casey swings this, and finds that kill. As I'm surprised Casey didn't use that cloaking device there. It might have helped with that battle, but yeah, that would have been tough. I mean, Casey was about to walk into 3 Chiki Breachy players, but 5-1. Could we potentially see the 5-1 curse knife fire? That's what I'm wondering.
Right? It's definitely something on the minds of both of these teams right now, I'm sure. The pistol set, vital, and going to really determine how things are going to go, because, yeah, if this goes for a pistol win. Chiki then got that Vezin buy, so you're probably looking 5-3. Then it's the 50-50 sort of toss-up who's going to win the full buy round. 5-4, 5-5 can really creep on you if you're not careful. But if they win this pistol round, it's again match point. They have the advantage, and Chiki are forced to buy into that what could be final round. They have essentially their economy's in shambles for the next 2-3 rounds, and so it's you've got yourself a big advantage off of a pistol round win here if they can lock it in going into this back half. We swap sides, we've reset economies. If you're not familiar with the way that Breachers works, and Ragnarok defend while Chiki attack, and Ragnarok just 2 more to go to lock in map 1.
And here we go on to round 7 again. Like Nightfire said, the pistol round, very important to win. Mark going down to an S-tier frag from Jado as we get started here in the second half of this first map. And, well, Ragnarok, they're picking up a fair amount of damage. We've already seen a pick fall into the favor of Chiki Breachy, and they're getting ready to mount what could be a very, very devastating offense as BMO pushes all the way around to Laundry, but Blam Blam Fam making use of that Taurus. Now, this is what Chiki Breachy is going to have to worry about, right? Because they do have 2 Tauruses up on Ragnarok. Scottish Ripper, I've faced that Taurus in ranked before, and I know just how deadly it is firsthand. As Scottish Ripper finds the pick on a BMO. TJ Clark taking out OO. Can Scottish find a second on the Silvertooth? They will! What a headshot as Jado over in Garage right now. The last member of Chiki Breachy standing. Could we potentially see the trend broken? No. Jado finds one, but does get shut down by Blam Blam Fam. There's that Taurus, and there's the 6-1 from Ragnarok.
Wow. Well, like I said, big round. Now, looking at map point here, a 1-0 lead in a best of 3, where if you lose, you are eliminated from contention into those semifinals. If you win, you move on to next weekend for a chance at first place prize pool of $1,900 in cash coming in from our sponsors, Triangle Factory and Pro2 VR. Helga, the esports bot manager, also on the line there for the team captains, a lifetime subscription for first and second. So a sizable prize pool here to be competing for at the end of the day. And I got to wonder if it's on their minds at any capacity or if they're just focused on the now. Chiki definitely got to be focused on the now. And that's why you're seeing them buy in partially here, Bob, to some Omens, a Taurus, and a bit of utility.
Yeah, they realize this is their last chance to get control over this game. So, I mean, if they can't field a Vezin in the next round, well, that's going to be something they have to deal with because, they need to win this. They can't lose any rounds anymore. I mean, at this point, you're just going for that tie. And it's so important because, remember, if we do get into a tie scenario where teams, it'll come down to to rounds. So, this could have a major impact on the fate of this game later on as Vreezer looks to swing and finds Scottish Ripper with that Omen. Nice. That's 1 Taurus down from Ragnarok. They do have 2 Vezin players up, but they could potentially overwhelm Ragnarok here on Chiki Breachy if they're not careful. But Blame Flame just deciding to drop 2 heads. Can they find a third onto OO? They're pushing up through Arcade. Will OO swing out? That would be very, very dangerous for OO. Those Tauruses are brutal. Mark finds Vreezers. It's now just down to OO and Silvertooth. The last 2 members of the Chiki Breachy offense standing. They need to get this round to stay in this series on map 1. Mark finds Silvertooth. Mark drops the second. It's a 7-1 game from Ragnarok.
A dominant performance from Ragnarok here in map 1, and I'm sure they're very happy coming out on top this fast. It's just like, I suppose, Acer EU with how well they performed in their series, but I felt that it was a little bit more. I don't know. I guess that was a hard-fought series too. At the end of the day, Acer had a couple of close rounds there, and the same went here for Ragnarok. They did not get easy rounds thrown at them for this first map here on Hideout. They had a tough go of their wins, and we saw some big clutches coming in from that Ragnarok squad. Some that double kill headshot with the Taurus, the near ace. It's moments like that where you can sometimes rely on, if you do have those clutch moments, that standout shooter, that one player that's going to step up to the task of the postseason. Sometimes you can rely on them. Sometimes you can depend on them to get you map wins, series wins. And, well, Ragnarok definitely performed well there to lock in that first map, Bob. And, what does Chiki do from here? Maybe a sub, maybe change something up for map 2. I mean, obviously a map swap might be on the the menu, so to speak. If we look at the match history, where do you think we're headed?
A couple of different options here, of course. Hideout is Ragnarok's best map. Both of these teams play a good skyscraper. Chiki Breachy put in a lot of work against, I believe they actually won against Acer EU on skyscraper.
Okay.
But again, that's a good performing map for Ragnarok. And if Chiki Breachy picks the map, Ragnarok's going to get to pick the side. So they may potentially go with, that defensive pick, which could really help them. So, it's a tough call. Maybe I'm going to say Factory is maybe where the teams are going to go for this next map. And we'll see what they decide to do. We might be on a bit of a timeout right now.
That would make sense as well. Chiki trying to take a little bit of a pause in what was a very fast loss. That went quick at the end of the day. 7-1 kind of speeds by. And you need to readjust now at this stage if you're Chiki and try and bounce back on this second map. The second map pick going to be crucial. You want to do your research, make sure you're picking into the right spots. So makes sense that they'll need a little bit of time. Gives us an opportunity to quickly shout out our sponsors, who include Triangle Factory, coming in and supporting the VRML for what has been now 2 seasons, contributing into that cash prize pool, as well as supporting us by flying out the top 2 North American teams to play live on stage in July at VRMLCon. A huge shout out to Triangle Factory. They've been a tremendous supporter of the VRML. We really do appreciate their support, and we're also happy to say that we will get that Season 2 finalist skin recolored for all champions that have secured that in the top 8. I know a lot of teams rallied for that, so a big shout out to Triangle Factory for listening to the community there as well. We're also sponsored by ProTube VR, contributing into that cash prize pool and offering fantastic stock options that help stabilize your aim in any of your favorite VR shooters. I have my ProTube off to the side here. With magnetic cups that snap in, and you put your controllers in, and again it goes to your shoulder, so it helps stabilize your aim in game. And easy to use, obviously, if you're blind. If you're you have your headset on, so you can't see, so you practice with your eyes closed to get the feel for it. But it works fantastically for that purpose. Highly recommend their products. You can use code ILOVEVRML at checkout to get a discount on a ProTube purchase. And we would really appreciate the support if you did that. We're also sponsored by HyperX. You're hearing my voice on the HX, on the Quad Procast. Jeez, I got everything mixed up in my mind there. You can use the discount code HXVRML23 at checkout to get a discount on any purchase in North America. And we really do appreciate their support for the convention and for this season towards our North American prize pool. A big shout out to them. And last but not least, Helga, the esports bot manager, a fantastic bot manager that helps you manage and organize your schedule from scrims to matches in the VRML. You can use their free service, only available to VRML players right now, by using code VRML2024OKF when you sign up for your account. They'll get you that free version of the VRML bot manager, and you can kind of get a feel for just how much it helps you scheduling in your games. We're going to go to a brief break while we wait for the rest of these teams to jump in. And so we do appreciate you all stopping by, hanging out, and enjoying the action. Don't go anywhere. Map 2 that could decide our victor and determine if Ragnarok's going to advance on to next weekend, coming up in just a few minutes.
Hey there, I'm Vermal. Breacher's competitive update has brought many great changes to our beloved game. Beyond adding rank, Triangle Factory has expanded headshot damage to the neck, as well as some map changes that are sure to balance and mix up the metas. Some changes deny previously overpowered peaks, including this window peak into Garage on Hideout. This white tarp in Garage is no longer penetrable. On Skyscraper, the one-way angle from Broadcast has been removed, as well as the radio wallbang through shutters. On Ship, the bomb site has been pushed back so a previous plant spot is no longer possible, like in Eternity versus Acer in the NA semifinals. Can't wait to see you in game!
Ain't accept and ignore, just kicking down all the doors, guarantee you, boy, if I ask for it, it's gotta be real big. I gotta make it just for my kids and for their kids' kids. That's wealth years and years. Promise my brother soon as he out and finish this bid, we finna do it bigger than anybody ever did. The odds is real big, job that's real big. Satan trying a little, my God is real big. Stayed up on the ground on the cards is real big. I gotta do it big, the only way that I can live.
There's Taquito again, flying out, rifle in hand, catches 1, 2, 3. Oh no!
Big Blues right on top list. And there's a double kill that comes in from Dozy. Hit to the EMP inside. Oh my God! No! That's 5, 4, 3. Doesn't get flashed. There's the canal with a double kill. Minnow Tiger with slide.
Nessie gonna clean up things with final frag, and just like that, F3 are getting chipped apart by Heyne in their headshots. Bot is exposed, and down they go. Can Heyne find the quadra kill with the Taurus in hand? Nessie with good rotation. Able to surprise Heyne here. Trying to bait out a missed shot, and they do not. Heyne, what the heck? A quadra kill.
My name is Heyne, and I play for Fusion VRML. I come from Echo. I love Echo VR, and I played that game since it came out in VRML. Going from Quest 1 to Quest 2 was jarring, and same thing for going to Quest 3. Echo was a very fun workout, and going to here, it's just, I can sit here for hours. The Taurus is my, I don't want to say my brand, but it's my thing. I've been using it since day one. I love that gun. If you use Hollow on Taurus, you're weird. That's kind of weird. Everyone should use Red Dot. I laugh and giggle a lot. I'm so happy no one else hears comms, because I am a horrible teammate. Every moment's chaos on Fusion. I was just listening for footsteps. Do you know how Mike Tyson used to fight? He would just stare him down, look at their heads. I either hit the headshot with the Taurus or I die instantly. That's just how the Taurus goes. Because the Taurus demands so much confidence. But if you're not confident, that's the biggest thing by far.
And it went through my hand. Better.
Cut off that beautiful spotlight produced by Chumbait to get ready to dive into our second map this afternoon between Ragnarok and Chiki. If you're just tuning in, this is the second series of the EU Top 8 Single Elimination Bracket today. It's the final series of the EU bracket today. We have 2 more matches tomorrow, so do please look out for that. You can see the live stream indicators on the YouTube channel, but for now we are going to dive into Skyscraper, Bob, which makes sense coming in from Chiki as their pick. It's their best map, I think, if you look at the stats in comparison to Hideout being the best map for Ragnarok. They're starting on defense, which is typically where you kind of get the advantage on Skyscraper is on the defense. You have the ability to roam, catch your opponent off guard a little bit more on Skyscraper because of the multiple floors. And so a real opportunity here for Ragnarok to make, for Chiki to maybe bounce back here this afternoon in the second map.
I'm just so worried here for Chiki and how this is going to go, because recently I've seen a lot more teams perform super well as offense on Skyscraper. But if there's a team that's going to put in a solid defensive half on Skyscraper, it's going to be Chiki. They are Okay, well, I might eat my words here a little bit as Scottish Ripper does find a head, but quick on the refrag as Jado finds a Taurus kill of their own. And we're starting to see the push take shape here from Ragnarok. TJ Clark pushing in to the upper lounge as there's a frag primed. And it's been tossed into storage. Where did that go? Wow, how did that get back in there? That was quite the throw. As we see the breach from upper lounge, uses Silvertooth looking to push into upper lounge. A quick triple from Ragnarok. It's just down to 0-0. Everybody is very, very low on health. Mark looking to swing up onto 0-0 and finds that kill. Look at that, a combined total of 2 health between the two of them. Very, very nice opening for Ragnarok. That if Chiki Breacher were hoping for a really, really solid defense, that is not an ideal start for them.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to let really even 1 or 2 rounds on offense get through at the end of the day on a map like Skyscraper. And Ragnarok are riding a momentum train at this point, Bob. 7-1 on map 1. 7, or could be, at this 1-0 here on map 2. They're looking to replicate the Acer EU scoreline at this stage, but they had a forfeit on their hands. So, it's definitely a strong performance. But like we've been seeing, every round is close. Chiki are bringing this thing down constantly to 1v2s, and ultimately it's those clutch moments that continue to go into Ragnarok's favor here, as they're really earning their spot, ranked 4th versus ranked 5, going into the series.
Yeah, and to that point, I really thought that Chiki Breachy, if they won the pistol round in that previous map, they absolutely had the ability to completely turn that around and potentially, change their outcome against Ragnarok. But Ragnarok, they were able to get that round, and if the fact that they're able to start off here getting a round in on Chiki Breachy, I think is. It's giving them, again, a leg up over this Chiki Breachy team. We'll see if they can manage to hold out for the rest of their defensive half, but we do see 2 of those round 2 Vezins up, so things might not go too well for them. But anyways, we do see a couple of trades as Vreezer finds Blame Fam. Scottish Ripper finding that Vezin kill. It's a 4 versus 1 already. It's just down to Vreezer. Last member of Chiki Breachy standing. They swing out right into the Vezin of Scottish Ripper, but they took TJ Clark with them too. And again, to your point, Nightfire, everybody here is pretty low on health. Even though we've got Vezins up, these rounds are still close.
It is crazy. It's just Ragnarok keep coming through at the end of the day, and those clutch moments they keep finding that one bullet they need to win that trade and survive with 1 HP. And it's got to sting for Chiki Breachy at this point. You got to think mental on this stage. They're looking at their season being over if they lose this map. They're done. They're out. Single elimination bracket here this afternoon. And so they won't be competing for a chance at that prize pool next weekend, which is what Ragnarok are getting closer and closer to. So, again, everything, the motivation dips on both sides very heavily, and you have to fight that. I think that's one of the harder things we don't talk a lot about, and we don't really ask these teams about. I guess we do. We ask them, are you worried about certain squads? But, they're always, oh, yeah, I'm fine, I'm confident. Of course they're confident, but it's I got to wonder how they feel when they're down like this, what that mentality really is like. What are they thinking? Are they worried about the stuff that I'm thinking even, as Vreezer opens up with a nice pick to get things started for Chiki at the very least?
Yeah, that's a positive start. Scottish Ripper was one of their top fragger on Ragnarok with a 4-2 right now. So that's a good start. They're cutting off a little bit of momentum here, and this could be the turning point for Chiki Breach, where they could start winning some of these defensive rounds. Of course, they do have those Vezins up and a heal as well. And Ragnarok, they're starting this round, with 1 player down. So, potentially we could, again, see them starting to turn this game around as Ragnarok are full sending it into the green hallway. Mark finds the kill. BMO dropping 2 as Blame Fam does secure that refrag onto BMO. And it's now a 3 versus 1 as Jado does find the kill onto Casey. But even then, we do see 2 rounds in favor of Ragnarok. Even if this goes 4-2 into the second half, that's still a lot of padding for Ragnarok to really bring it back on defense, because they had a good defense on Hideout too. In any case, here's Blame Fam. They find the kill on the Silvertooth. They find the kill on the Razor. But Shadow secures the kill, makes us a 2-1 game, and what could be the start of a very, very solid first half for Chiki Breachy.
It's again those clutch moments, and if that had gone Ragnarok's way, I think the series is over. Quite frankly, you know, the momentum, everything getting zapped out of Chiki Breachy there, but they're on the board now, and they've got a little bit of cash to spend, although not a lot. Losing as many players as they did hurts them at the end of the day, and it's only looking like maybe even 2 Vezins are going to come out here on this round. It's not, you know, we talk a lot about the economy, but you know, if you're not aware, you get, I think, 2,500 in cash for a win. You get 150 in cash for a kill, and if you lose, you get 1,500. If you lose 2 times in a row, I think it's 2,000. If you lose 3 times, it's 2,500. If you lose 4, it's 3,000. In a rifle, the meta rifle is 2,900. And so if your brain's frying and you have done all the math now, you'd understand that they're actually hurt by not getting the 4-round bonus, because if they were to get that 4th round bonus, they would get 3,000. But they won, so they get 2,500. A rifle costs 2,900, so they don't get enough to buy a rifle. If they had lost, they would have. And so it's kind of a weird spot where the win ends up impacting their economy worse in some ways this round than it would have if they had just lost and got that consecutive bonus.
And this is why you pay attention during your math class in school, because it helps you navigate the tricky world of Breach's economy and how everything works there. We should do like a VRML Breach's problems, like
if you have 3 Vezins and your opponent has 2 Vezins, how many Vezins are they going to be able to buy next round?
Exactly. Anyways, we see a couple of trades. OO finds TJ Clark, but BMO also goes down to Ragnarok. Scottish Ripper picking up another pick there as we see a frag toss over the partition. OO finds another one. And we're looking at this spot, this 3 versus 3. There's another frag tossed in. That may catch some damage on the market. Will. And it's now just down to Silvertooth. And a 1 versus 2 against Mark and Casey. And here comes the swing, and they find it. It's a 3-1 game. And this is just, it's not looking good for Chiki Breachy at all, because again, they won that previous round. They didn't have enough economy to purchase, extra Vezins. Ragnarok did. They had plenty of cash, and now they're going to get even more to keep their war machine moving. Now they are, they are hurting a little bit more for cash now. TJ Clark's on 0, Scottish is on 675, but still, they'll have momentum even if they lose this round. And Chiki Breachy, they're on an eco, a big eco. Spectrals across the board, and Freezer, Jado are both super ecoing. Well, not now just Jado, but we do see, that Jesper coming out, so they're saving big time.
See Petal in chat asking, please tell me it goes to 3. That's up to Chiki Breachy at this point. They really need to lock in at least 2 points on defense. To your point, Bob, we have seen offense kind of surging a little bit on Skyscraper lately. So maybe when we swap sides, Chiki will have a solid offensive set as well. That's being optimistic, I think, because Ragnarok otherwise have been playing very good on both sides. 7-1 on map 1. They're up 3-1 here on map 2. And their offensive half going really good for this being a Chiki Breachy map on Skyscraper.
Here we go into round number 5. Penultimate round in the first half here. So Chiki Breachy, they're going to eco here and then save up their money for the final round of the half to invest as much as they can into util and Vezins, as we see Ragnarok all in courtyard right now, except for Casey, who's making their way towards the window of the B2 lounge. And they may potentially find a pick here, or a Silvertooth. Depends on who surprises who. But in any case, we do actually see Scottish Ripper get foam on the B2 lounge wall from the bathroom hallway. Silvertooth almost got caught, but that smoke saved them a little bit there. Freezer looked to jump out the window at Casey. That didn't happen. Silvertooth finding a kill on the mark. Gets refragged by TJ Clark as Bima finds a kill on to Casey. The EMP is getting planted right now by Blame Fam. There it is as Bima looks to peek that connector. And it's a 3 versus 2. But Ragnarok have taken some heavy losses here with 2 of their players down.
Ooh, Scottish gets caught out on the rappel there, and a nice little push out with the pistol. There's a rifle down. They'll scoop that up and challenge from the backside. Another pistol kill from BMO, and now it's up to BMO and Blam Blam as Blam Blam picks up one. BMO on the defuse, time ticking. Blam Blam on the rotation, swinging around to interrupt, and they will. BMO's looking for the headshots that connect with one. A heal quickly from Blam Blam, but that very quickly is interrupted. Another heal scooped up from their opponent, and BMO has no time. The round will go in to Ragnarok's hands, and BMO goes with the final pickup, the Vezin in hand. Did they win the round? No, they don't. Oh my gosh, the bomb. I think that was way closer than I saw that. It was how many? There was maybe only a second or so off of that round actually going to Chiki.
Yeah, I mean, if it's just again in that tough spot for Chiki Breachy where they can manage to kill. I mean, this is like a flashback to round 1 of Hideout when 00 aced the entire Ragnarok team, and then they just didn't have enough time to plant the EMP. But again, to that point, that is what the job of the enforcers, and that means that Ragnarok are doing their jobs very well. They're getting that EMP planted, shifting time in their favor, and then all they have to do is just stall. They just have to stall for enough time, because if they can put Chiki Breachy in a spot where they can't defuse the EMP in time, there's just nothing that they can do. And they've lost 2 rounds now, from that, exact scenario happening. So again, it's got to be that spot of frustration for Chiki Breachy. They manage to do the hard part, which is get the kill, and then by the time they get to the EMP, the easy part, which is just move the dial 3 times, it's just not enough time to do it. But hey, I mean, that was
easy, Bob. Okay, but I don't know. It's I've seen some players excel at it, and I feel like it might be a practice skill at this point. Really being able to feel out that EMP and hone in on it very quickly, so that you can get the 1, 2, 3 fast.
Yeah, and then there's extra pressure. Are you gonna stick that defuse? Are you gonna bait it? And there's only 45 seconds now after a patch from Triangle Factory. So, interesting scenarios surrounding the EMP as Jada does manage to get that heal off, and here comes the push into upper lounge. Ragnarok, 1 player down. Chiki Breachy making use of those rifles. Their best hope here is to make this a 4-2 game, but Blam Blam fam picking up Silvertooth with that Kadeo. Vreezer, however, finds the kill onto Casey. TJ Clark taking out Vreezer's 0-0. Finds that refrag. Blam Blam fam may be caught here. Shadow finds Mark. Blam Blam fam.
Out of ammo.
Oh, wow. That's just so unfortunate. And it's a 4-2 game. And now the pressure's on for Ragnarok. I mean, could we potentially see Chiki Breachy have an amazing offense here?
It's not out of the question, Bob. I'm not excluding it out of the question, because they are fighting hard here. This is the team that deserves their position right now. This is a team that deserves to be fighting against Ragnarok. They've had a stellar season. They've fought hard to get that rank 5 overall. They're contesting in a lot of these rounds, despite losing 7-1, despite being down 4-2. They're fighting every bit of the way. If you look at the KDs, you see it doesn't look like it's a big disparaging difference. You see 6-5, 4-6, 6-4 on Chiki, and then the highest killer on is Scottish with 7-5, 6-3, 5. It's almost equivalent KDs at the end of the day, despite Ragnarok dominating the scoreline 4-2. So yeah, we'll see what Chiki can bring out on the offense here as we do get ready to dive into that side swap and reset of economies and another pistol round with Chiki on the attack.
And here we go into round number 7. This is a big moment for Chiki Breachy. They can get that early pistol round in. They could potentially do what Ragnarok did and find some early success in the second half. As we see Mark out in the lobby lounge, they may get caught by BMO and Jado. BMO catches TJ Clark. Mark looking for a pick. Finds a bit of damage onto Jado, but Jado finds some damage onto Mark as well. Oh my goodness, the Taurus is coming out again with Blam Blam fam dropping Silvertooth. Another kill from Blam Blam fam, and it's a 3 versus 2. It's down to 0-0 and Jado. Jado has that EMP, but look at this. I mean, Blam Blam is already gone. They're rotating back towards the site. There's 2 minutes 10 on the clock, but Ragnarok is in a pretty favorable position here.
Chiki staring at potentially 3 players if they do want to peek that hallway. They've got multiple angles. They'll be able to get a grenade at least for their trouble before they do peek around. And they're more worried about that vault over the ledge and the push down from the back stairs onto them, which does make sense. Jadow does finally get down to the bottom floor to reinforce 0.0 here. And utility is going to be vital to root out this defense. And I think maybe this wall breach might do just that as the foam goes down. And Ragnarok reassess their stack and do drop back to a better bit of defensive posturing as the setup comes in.
There's a minute 20 on the clock. There's still time for this to work out. If they can foam that wall, push the EMP in, and potentially get it planted. There's the frag toss, you know. They're going to try and funnel the defense to the right side, but no, it doesn't happen. It didn't work. And Scottish Ripper, again, dropping kills with that Taurus. It's just unbelievable. Again, I went up against Scottish Ripper recently in ranked, and that Taurus is just brutal. And I mean, you could see it there. And again, not a good start to the second half for Chiki Breachy.
Yeah.
I mean, if they lose this, it's gonna be match point again for Ragnarok. Another loss there, they'll be out of this postseason very, very soon. And yeah, you really have to wonder what that mental is like right now.
Yeah, it is. Well, nerve-wracking on my end, Bob. I'm feeling the pressure for Chiki right now, just like I was feeling it for Nexus last round. You know, as their end of the season nears closer and closer, I'm starting to feel the butterflies in my stomach. I'm sure that Chiki have been feeling it all day today. If they are really coming into this as serious as at least I take the top 8, you know, I think they are. I know that they're excited about it. You know, we at the very least they've come in and played very strong maps 1 and maps 2, but it's like you said, just one away from Ragnarok pushing this to map point. And then do you have the energy? I don't know. But right now they have no economy, so it really is looking like we're headed to that map point unless Chiki Breachy pull off something spectacular here on their eco.
Big round for Chiki Breachy as BMO did invest into that RCP. Oh my goodness, an S-tier frag from Mark. We've been seeing artillery left and right from the EU, all day today. And yeah, I mean, what a brutal start for Chiki Breachy as their RCP does go down. Silvertooth does manage to recover that EMP, but already 2 players down. Silvertooth goes down, Freezer goes down. Now just down to 0-0, and blam, blam, bam, shutting down 0-0. It's 6-0, and I think, again, before the momentum can start, they're getting stopped over here on Chiki Breachy. Now just 1 round left before they're out of the postseason.
A reminder, if you're tuning in here this afternoon, that there's more action later today, starting at 2 p.m. PST. Well, actually 1:30 p.m. PST, I think, is the pre-show. And we'll be diving into the North American top 8, where we'll see Acer again on the North American side, battling out for their chance to advance on, as well as some other top teams that you're not going to want to miss. It's going to be a stellar day of North American action with a tremendous prize pool and that potential to advance on to be one of 2 teams that get flown out to play live on the stage for their grand finals in at VRML Con July 20th and 21st. The pressure there, Bob, even higher, at the end of the day than it is here, and very much looking forward to getting into those series, getting into that sequence, and really just a few hours from now. So do keep the eyes peeled on the YouTube for that if you are interested in more action coming down the line. But we still got a potential for 3 maps. At the end of the day, if Chiki Breachy can put 4 in a row on the board on their attacking set, do a 4-2 offensive set like Ragnarok did, then they can tie map 2, and we go to a map 3 to decide our winner.
I mean, at that point, though, I think rounds would be in favor of Ragnarok.
Oh, Ragnarok a lot. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so they're probably already out of the postseason right now. I haven't done the exact math in my head, but still, I mean, this is very symbolic. Oh my goodness, stop again! Another frag is tossed out. That catches a bunch of damage, but Freezer responds! Casey responds with a trip my kill! Freezer's already in site A! What is happening? We're seeing it, 2 trip my kills, what on earth? And it's now just down to blame fam. There's a Vezin down. This could be this could be big for Chiki Breachy. They could turn things around here. Can Blam Blam fam 1v3? There's only 2 minutes on the clock.
EMP finally getting planted. They have the door blocker to work with as they pop through it. Heads will pop as Silver pops out. Freezer springs their trap, and they'll find the kill, and the Chiki are alive. I think the way this would work, Bob, actually, is I don't know that you're... it'll be 7-1, map 1 win to Ragnarok. If we tie 6-6 here, then map 2 will mean that Chiki Breachy will have to go 7-1 themselves. And then we will have... And then, so we still... Or map 3, excuse me. So we'll still play that third map, but it'll be... They'll just have very little runway. You know, Ragnarok will need to score 2 points in map 3 to win. If we tie map 2, Ragnarok will need 2 points in map 3 to win the series. And so, to your point, you know, not a lot of room to work with at the end of the day if they do tie here. But still, it keeps them alive. It keeps the hopes alive, and it takes us to that third map where maybe there'll be some opportunity for a bit of a runaway train to get going for Chiki Breachy, which is what they'll need right here and going into map 3. So a bit of a comeback. There's a lot of coal that needs to get put into the comeback train right now for it to go the distance it needs to go.
Yeah, comeback train is still on the station in the fueling process, if you would. But hey, a little more, like Nightfire said, and we could potentially see Chiki Breachy bringing it back like disco. But anyways, you know, we see rifles across the board, and Ragnarok are certainly ecoing right now. Scottish Ripper picked up the Vezin, Casey running that Aril, and I have a feeling that's just because Casey will afford a Vezin, you know, next round anyway. So they're just going to try and get you know, that another rifle up against Chiki Breachy. And hey, I mean, the RL, it has its moments, okay? It's certainly not, you know, a meta gun by any means, but hey, we've seen War Dogs make it work before. Yeah. We've seen other people make it work.
Bot Timo.
Bot Timo, exactly. So,
lest
you know,
there's
potential.
Yeah, there's potential. It's not a terrible weapon. Just like we've seen Viper kind of excel as a weapon pick as well. Chiki Breachy playing a quick 1-2 punch to open up the wall in the hatch. So they get a little bit of an angle down into that hatch through the wall, and a little bit of a little bit more flexibility in terms of trying to work their way down there. They can check some more angles, and it's interesting to see them utilizing this strat, and it's definitely gives them some good clearance on this hatch play before they do commit to making it, if they are going to commit to making it. The trouble, of course, is they can't really see Scottish, who is tucked into the center here, and Scottish actually looking for a kill themselves. They're trying to find Silvertooth roaming around the edge of this hole.
And this is, you know, it's very risky for Scottish to do this, but it's at the same time, you know, a counter for this particular hatch play. If you have a defender sitting there watching that angle, they have a good angle on it, they can potentially find that person sitting on the hatch, even if the angle is very good. And Blam Blam fam finding Shadow. Oh no, that's the EMP out there, Nightfire. Oh, that's bad. That's very, very bad for Chiki Breachy. But they may be able to push in, take control of this site. Silvertooth does find the kill onto Casey. Blam Blam fam finds another Taurus kill. Bimo takes out TJ Clark. Mark finds Bimo. Oh no, this is not good. Vreezer finds 2. Olo closes out the round, but this is not good for Chiki Breachy at all. They've lost 3 of their players. They've lost Vezins. They've lost utility, and that was an eco round for Ragnarok.
That's true. That was an eco round, but still, it's 6-4, and Chiki are 2 away from tying this map. The momentum shift, Bob, is tremendous right now. There's hope. There's hope in Chiki Breachy. I don't think there was hope in the last few rounds, quite frankly. When it was 6-1, you know, 7-1, you lost map 1. You know, that's a very fast loss. You can't even really process that. They took a timeout, though, so maybe they could. They kind of digest just how quick things went, assess how this Ragnarok team's playing, and try and counter it a little bit here on Skyscraper. But I don't know, 2 more rounds to go, and like you said, it's they're still able to afford everything they need. You know, they're getting all the utility, they've got all the rifles. Ragnarok are also able to afford the full buy, and so it's the big round right here. I think if Chiki Breachy win this, there really is an opportunity for a 6-6, because Ragnarok are not going to have a whole lot to invest in into this last round if it goes that way.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing too. It's certainly there's more pressure on. You know, that doesn't really make any sense, because if Ragnarok wins one, they'll win the whole series. But I was gonna say, in terms of eco, there's more pressure on Ragnarok right now, because if they do collapse that momentum that Chiki Breachy has on this round, they may not be able to afford those visits. They are really scraping right here, right? They've only got one heal. They've only got one frag. And we're seeing loads of utility and rifles coming out from Chiki Breachy. So it's going to fall down to gun skill for Ragnarok. And that frag, it's going to have to be well placed if they want to get a win on this round. And yeah, we've seen quite the comeback here from Chiki Breachy. 2 more rounds, and they will call this map a draw. And then they'll have to tackle that very difficult task, which will be that 3rd map. But in any case, we still have time left in this game. There's a frag toss, finds quite a bit of damage onto TJ Clark. Looking to open up the lower lounge window, and Casey catches Silvertooth, but will be refragged. However, Scottish Ripper finds a double kill on the refrag as Jado finds that refrag. Mark takes out Jado. There's that frag placement, and it's now just down to a 2 versus 3 with a minute and a half. Look at this. Blam Blam is upstairs. They may catch Freezer off guard. Freezer's going for the window. Blam Blam fam. Oh my goodness, almost goes down to Freezer, but catches that kill. It's now just down to Bimo, the last member of Chiki Breachy, standing the only person that has the ability to carry them into the next round. They've got to win a 1v3. There goes the flash into Site V. And Mark takes out Bimo. And it is a 7-4. Ragnarok are going to be moving on to the next round, the semifinals.
What a series, and what a fight from Chiki Breachy. So hard fought. 10 kills from Freezer, 9 from OO. 8 from BMO, 7 from Bet. I mean, they came in and put their best foot forward against this Ragnarok squad and could not best them today in a best of 3. 2 maps is all we need to determine our victor here, and so Ragnarok are, like you said, advancing on to next weekend. I think they go up against Acer, so they got quite a task ahead of them next weekend as well, but they looked really good here today. And they really put on a strong performance this afternoon as a team. Great plays, great coordination, solid execution, big clutches, good headshots. I mean, everything was here that they needed to get them the win, and they got it. A fun one to tune into, to say the least, Bob, and I'm happy that we caught the action here today. And a reminder, that's not the end of the action today. We're going to go on a break, obviously, and get ready for NA, which is in 2.5 hours now. The pre-show will start, and then we'll dive in, break down the North American side, the top 8 over there, and we'll dive into 2 best of 3s later today in North America. Then tomorrow we do it all over again, another 2 best of 3s, and those, Bob, I think we're really looking forward to on the EU side. I mean, we can talk a little bit about them right now as we look forward to Group B, as what we'll call it, and it's IVI versus .com and Immortality versus Formula 3 EU. I mean, let's just touch a little bit on those games, because those are going to be some stellar ones, and I don't think I'm going to have you around for them, so I got to get your thoughts on those before you go.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? I have had accurate predictions for both of these games, and I'm looking to continue that streak. So, we're going to see, IV, one of the most dominant teams in the EU that, I mean, they had a small pause where they were kind of out of the scene for a bit, but they came back and they still stayed at the top of their game here. So I'm going to say they pull out a win against .com, but at the same time, I'm second guessing myself. .com, the season 1 EU champions, they're also a very good team. But yeah, I'm thinking with how dominant Ivy has been, they're number 2 in the standings right now. I'm thinking they're going to be the ones to move on in that, and then Immortality versus Formula 3 EU. I'm going to play it safe again and go Immortality. And you know what? I could be wrong because we've had some upsets here before, but I've seen Immortality play. I've seen IV play. I think those are my 2 picks. But either way, it'll be a fantastic set of matchups. I'm sorry I'm going to be missing them because I'm sure the action is going to be a lot of fun. But enjoy those.
Maybe we'll see you on the tail end.
Maybe.
We'll find out. But look forward to those matches tomorrow for EU, and again later today for NA, and again tomorrow for NA. It's a weekend packed with Breachers action. It'll be it for us here on the desk, though, as we're going to take our well-deserved break. And when we come back later today, it'll be North America. But until then, we appreciate you all tuning in. Thank you so much for stopping by. Subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. Come back later tonight and stay classy. Bleachers VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.